Hello, good-looking man.
Hey, Zinky.
How are
Hello,
you? How are
hello,
you
my
doing?
African strong ass, good-looking ass brothers. How you doing?
How are you, Sinclair?
No,
You
because I need to give you your flowers, okay?
Yes, yes.
Above everything.
Ah,
Nah, you said I see you. See
what,
you. You don't know,
what can I
no.
say? What can I say now? How I'm just there. I'm just receiving compliments now. What can I do now? How I'm just receiving compliments.
What are
Get
you people even
complimenting.
talking about today? I beg. I have not even seen anything. What are you people talking about?
No,
Nah, we're just asking each other, you know,
been
our day, how
24.
has it been? And he told me he's not feeling well. He's got flu. Yeah.
You, because I had such an amazing day today. Oh my gosh, I had
What
such
did
an
you
amazing
do?
day. What you
What did you
mean?
do?
What you mean? What you mean? What did I do? What you mean? What did I do? No, I met one of my brothers that I've known over the internet for a while through a friend, and then I met him in person, and he is just absolutely amazing. And no, guys, I'm not falling in love, but I'm just saying he was absolutely amazing. He's Nigerian, by the way, but Hausa. So, which is very un what's the word? Un I forgot the word, but yeah, but it was great. It was amazing. I had a great time. I had a great
Why
time.
did you guys go out on a date?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a date. We just hung out. We just hung out and we just got to
Where did you guys
understand
go?
each other's trail of thought and what we think about even this whole African unity and even our countries as a whole and even each other as people. It was amazing. It was amazing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't be jealous. See. Don't be jealous. See, Machiavelli, don't be jealous. See.
No.
We're
No,
asking. We just
no.
want to find out. You said you guys didn't go out, so did he come to you, or you
No,
went
we
to
went
him? Come on,
out.
give us a picture. Out to
No, we
where?
went out. No, we went out just for drinks and
Mm,
lunch.
mm. And then
And that was it. But he was a
and then
complete,
and
absolute
then
gentleman.
it all ended in praise. Like,
All ended in praise. You said
mm?
your mind. I
It
want
all
to
ended
flush your
in
mind down the
praise.
gutter. It did not end up in any
You
praise,
can't
my
flash it, Baba.
dear.
How were you
No.
not grateful? Were you not thankful to him? Were you not thankful? Was he not thankful to you for the time well spent?
No, I was.
Yeah, so it ended in praise, Baba.
I'm used to even Ubering myself. But you did that. Besides that, it was just a really amazing time. Just getting to know people on we didn't speak of like the personal aspects that much, but just
Hmm.
how our ideas of Africa and African unity, those ideas. Yeah, he couldn't give two fucks about African unity, but at the end of it, he could understand why there's a need for it because he's privileged. He's privileged, so he couldn't give two fucks. But at the end of it, he understood, and that for me is a victory.
So it
It
ended
is
in
a real
praise.
victory. It ended in praise, so my brother, my
Just I
brother,
want to know. Just I want to
he
know.
ended in praise. So
However you describe it, it all boils down to one thing.
you said no. Hey, yes, it ended in praise. Please, oh, I
Mhm.
beg. Nobody should ask me anything about that. You see, I'm
Quite
here
true.
at 8 p.m. If it ended up in more praise than that, I would
Yeah,
not
that
be
was yeah.
here.
It was fast. It was
So,
fast and effective. Efficient.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mr. Asian, I'll make you swim, my guy. Let me just quickly, then I'll make you swim.
No, not a problem,
who is swimming?
man.
Who is
All right.
swimming?
No. I'm saying I'll make you swim. I'll come back.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
All right.
Later.
All right.
Shamsi, how are you?
I'm good, and how are you?
Welcome.
Shamsi, what's up? How are you?
I'm good, and how are you guys?
Okay, I'm okay. Back again.
We are good, thank
Oh, you're welcome. We're saying you're
you.
welcome again. I mean, I know you've been
I think twice now in a row.
twice in a row. Does that mean that means you love our lives, yeah?
Well, yeah, sometimes they're educational, you know. Like, when I say
All right.
sometimes, I mean I get information I didn't know.
Is it? Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a motivation to keep doing the live. Sometimes, we get discouraged. We're like, Ish, man, I can't go back there at 8 p.m. again. But then when we hear things like this,
No,
and
actually,
then
it's
we
a good
hear,
thing.
yeah, we hear things like this, and we also hear good updates from people like Zintle, we are happy. Like, people got it, got efficiency. Others are also getting information and knowledge. Everything is going smoothly.
There is
Yeah,
nothing
well,
negative that can ever come with the unity of Africa and the understanding of, and people that have the understanding of coming together. There is nothing negative that will ever come from that.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah,
I mean, I also hate xenophobic people because I don't get why they're xenophobic against their own people. Because at the end of the day, we all the same. It's just that we're in different parts of the country, of the
exactly.
continent. I mean,
Shamsi, maybe
yes.
let me also give. I probably might have told other lives about this. Um, and this is not in any way vindictive, but I'm saying most of us uh, are born um, without knowing our fathers. Their fathers not knowing their fathers, even our mothers.
Facts.
I know that my grandmother went to go get married in Egoli in the 50s. And uh, the history that I came to know is still very. Back then, there were people that used to call Amanyas. Back then, they used to bring other Africans from Malawi, from Tanzania, to go and work in the mines. The fact that we don't know our ancestors or even our grandfathers or even our great grandfathers is the problem that I have with people that will be xenophobic, because probably most of you, your grandfathers, we won't even take it very far. We'll take it to your grandfathers. Most of your grandfathers were from Nyasaland or even Tanzania. It's just that nobody ever told you, or because your grandmothers even didn't even know who your fathers were, and you wanna come here and be xenophobic when even your people, if we trace your lineage we can trace it to East Africa. So that's
Yeah.
the ingenuity, the disingenuity that I have as a problem with a Tutulas. Most of them don't even know. It's worse because they are. Baby girl, Shamsi, were you there yesterday on that other live? Yaga Baba T. This baby girl that is a Tutula by day but begging for begging for a Nigerian prick by night. Were you there? You were not there,
No.
Shamsi.
No, I was on the one
Woo,
about
baby girl.
abortion. Abortion.
Baby girl. So that's why I
Tell
don't.
us about it. Tell us about it.
Woo! Mr. Aisha, you are there now. You said you want me to be the
I'm
bearer
not
of
there. This
bad
is my
news.
life. I'm always on my life. I don't go to other lives. So I couldn't have been there.
So this
Or was it on
Maya
this life?
girl, I don't know her. Oh. Me, I don't know a lot of people. I don't know a lot of people. This Maya girl, she's a Tutula by day. By night, she's dating Nigerian men. She's even posting X-rated stuff to these Nigerian men and all of that stuff. And me, I don't know what was happening there. Oh. That's just the thing that I picked up. And it was a whole night, like a whole hour, 6 hours of that back and forth. So, and we know also that this Dudula lady, the leader of Dudula, she has 2 children by Zimbabwean men.
Is that confirmed? I think that's a rumor. I've been hearing that, but is that true? Is it
No be matter
confirmed?
of rumor. Oh. No be matter of rumor. If it's not confirmed, she must come and confirm it for us. If it's not
So,
confirmed,
But
she
will
must come
she
and
though?
confirm
so
it
the
for
two
us.
children are from whom? Are from whom? Zimbabwean or where?
Zimbabwean men. So this thing also comes from being disparaged. And I get it. I totally get it. Because even me, Seth, I'm disparaged with South African men, which is why I will say any other day that I prefer other African men because they treat me a little bit better than my people. But for me to
Nah, I'm
go out on a
tribalistic.
rampage, that's hateful and even recruit other people to be hateful about it, now that's where we draw the line. That's where we draw the line. These people are just people that have been hurt by your brothers and your sisters. And so they feel like they can recruit. And these minions with a mind that's less than a 2%, a 2 IQ will go and follow them instead of doing their own research. Now that one that vex me. Now that one that vex me. We were here for I was here for three hours, Seth. Other people were here for 6 hours. This lady being ousted anyhow. So no, this Tutula's staff Seth. If you like, if you have less than a 2 IQ, yeah, I'm not talking 20. I'm talking a 2 IQ. Then you follow them. Thank you.
Because my question is, you hate them because of what exactly?
Exactly, my sister. Exactly,
Because
my
I
sister.
don't see
You are
anything
talking
that
about
the
crime.
other.
You are talking about crime. You are
Oh,
talking
there's this
about powder pushing.
stereotype.
You are talking about human trafficking. I
Yeah, there's those
I was born in
stereotypes.
the 80s. I was born in the 80s. There were powder pushers before there was powder, there was Mendrex in this South Africa, in these townships of South Africa. We already know of Dr. Passon. You are telling me you will not think of Dr. Passon, but you want to come and think of every other African after that. Come on now.
Mhm.
It's very disingenuous. It's very mindless for me. It's very mindless for me. Anybody that starts already know there's nothing between your two ears. It's just whistles. It's just whistles, and you
And
are
they
probably
hate
being
being called
paid.
out.
You are probably being paid to give that narrative.
And they hate being called out. One thing I realized.
Of course, they'll hate being
So,
called out
so wait.
because
Are you? Maybe I should. And then, what is your thought? What do you think about this Reclaim South African movement that is come this March on the 24th? Are you part of it? Are you taking part? What do you think is the idea behind it?
I don't
Right?
know about it.
What's
What
your
is it
take?
about?
What's your take?
I don't know about it. What is about? What are they saying it's about?
They want to reclaim South Africa, right?
From
So
who?
whatever that means, we don't know. I'm sure some of them will be joining our lives today.
Because
Some
that's
people
that's
who
that,
are
that
part.
that's imperative. To understand who you are reclaiming it of is imperative. That's what we
And
need to
Well,
if they
understand.
chase out, if they
I
really
really
want
don't
to
have much to
reclaim,
say about it, but I know some of the organizers or those who are part of it will be joining the live today. I really want to understand what's this about, and yeah, it could be nonsense, no doubt, and let's hear. But it could also be much sense. Let's hear. What do they
Okay,
have to say?
let me
Like you
let
all are
me
saying
not
now.
have let me not have an opinion about it until they've come
Absolutely.
in here and they've given their submission, because then
Yeah,
maybe it might make sense. But as it stands, if as it stands, I'm not I am not thinking positive right now. I'm not being objective about it, about how the submission they're gonna give. But I would love to think about it, hear it, and
same.
think about it. So I'm just gonna keep quiet until they do.
I
I
think
think
that's
these people are
that's the
just
attitude we
fighting
should
with
take towards it.
emotions.
Yeah.
They're fighting with emotions. That's how I feel. It's like, when they say umuntu omnyama akafuna ukubona umuntu omnyama eya phambili, right? I feel like because someone told me it's because of they steal our jobs and women's, and I was like, yeah. I laughed and left because I couldn't get
It's
it.
even the
Like,
women part that makes it even more laughable.
I mean, your
Because
woman
how
is the
can
one that is
you
going to them.
tell me, how can you as a man that stands for your country, that stands for your tribe, and then you will come onto these spaces and you will say other people are stealing our women? For me personally, it says you are weak. The fact that you will say that somebody is stealing
Facts.
your woman, it says you are weak. I don't know about you, Chomi. I don't know.
Facts. I just think you're stupid, that's
Hello,
all.
everyone.
Hi.
Hi, Viwe.
Hi, guys. Hi, how's it?
We're good, and how are you?
I'm alright. I'm alright. Just a bit tired.
What are you
So,
bringing for us today?
sorry?
What are you bringing for us today?
I am bringing nothing. I don't even know why Ethan invited me here. I am bringing nothing. I want to go back to my place with the comments.
Imalapho nawe.
Hayi,
Imalapho.
asoze. I-panel inabantu. I-panel
Where
inabantu
are you
bayo.
streaming from, Viwe?
Sorry?
Where are you streaming from?
Where am I originally from?
Where are you streaming from?
Oh, streaming. Currently I am in East London. I've got work here that I need to do, but I'm originally from Cape Town.
Oh,
Yeah.
ooh,
So
hey.
there are a couple of developers looking for
Oh yeah,
plots.
Pepe are small now.
Hmm?
Pepe are small.
Pepe are small. What does that mean?
Usicindezele kancane ke. Kancane, ungacindezeli kakhulu.
Ngantoni?
I'm a property practitioner.
Hayi
Oh
bo,
my
okay.
gosh.
Andiyo ndithu.
Sesicindezelekile already. So uyasicindezela even worse. Cindezele kancane. Ne?
Ndiyahamba ke, ndiyahamba.
Kancane ne?
Mm-mm.
Small.
I'm gone. Kanya, what's happening? Hi, Kanya. Hi,
Maureen.
Shemzi. I'm good. I'm
Hi.
good.
Mama Kanya, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm fantastic. How are you, darlings? How are you?
We're great, thank you.
Yeah.
Shemzi, how do
No,
you
like
pronounce
when
your name?
Satulemna, I was actually just like trying to digest this topic. Bendiyazi uba kukho imatch nge-24, but I didn't realize what the whole gist of this is. And I was hoping to get clarity of the whole gist of what the march is actually for and what the objective is for this march. Because I do have opinions, but they might clash with what the actual purpose of this march is.
Kanya, I think we are on the same boat because I was looking at the topic and I'm like, yo, people are not gonna like what I have to say.
No,
They will not.
please say what you guys have to say. I mean, if you don't like what you have to say, you can hear. The worst that could happen is that you can hear us out, and that's it.
Okay, so Mina personally, I'll take this to say, all of this xenophobic attacks, all of this that's happening, right? As a child of a foreigner and a South African person, so understand that I have no bone of xenophobia in me. My father is a foreigner, okay? So hear me when I make my submissions that they're not coming from a xenophobic person, nor are they coming from a person who I'm a pep. You understand? So no, I'll just be honest. Like I literally stand in the middle, because yes, xenophobia is bad and whatnot, and we will point it towards what we hate on. It's black on black crime, and black on black have problems with each other. But at the end of the day, guys, it's like taking a tin, right? Faka amakundwane phakathi, shaking it up. Obviously azogidlana namagundwane lawa, and they're gonna feel like the reason why sishayisana is because lo unyathele kabi, lo munye unyathele wrong, lo munye unyathele wrong, not realizing that there's somebody at the top shaking up this whole system. That's how we tend to end up fighting each other amongst ourselves as black people. As like, I completely understand a person that will say abahambe because all the crimes that are being committed. And also, I understand the plight of Lomuntu Lo Osuga Gubo with trying to make a better living for their family. But at the end of the day, I do understand why Omunye Umuntu will say Mabahambe. You understand? Because at the end of the day, majority of not, I wouldn't say majority, but a huge chunk of foreigners do come here and they do make things harder and they do create chaos amongst us. Okay, I don't know ukuthi ngizothi us yiphi. Okay, mangithi us ngisho my mom's side as us. The non
When you say amongst us, who are you talking about? Because you are also part of us, but you are also part of them.
Okay, but anyway, but like I feel.
But I think if he says, "I'm so sorry to butt in," I'm so sorry. I'm so
It
sorry.
is a conversation.
I didn't mean to use that word. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Oh God. But
No,
I feel like,
please, yeah.
but in the Angeti, can I use both languages? Angeti in South Africa, they say you are what your father is. So when you're gonna refer to what you are, basically you are what your father is. You know what I'm saying?
You said that. But this is,
Oh yes. So
but
I think it will be.
but in Zimbabwe, I'm not registered. So Zimbabwe kanjani? Tell me, help me
But
understand.
the thing is, what I'm understanding, Makutiwa mabahambe. They don't care if you were born in South Africa or not. All they care about, if you are a foreigner, tsamaya. That's all they care about.
Allow me to also educate you.
They don't care about the legalities, Kanya. They don't care about the legalities.
Yes, they don't. Because I was told I'm not South African.
There are foreigners who have South African IDs legally. Personally, I'll tell you a story of a friend of mine. You know, Uguti, according to Home Affairs, there are scarce skills, right? That if you are part of the scarce skills list, if
Babam
you
was actually one
come
of
to
the
South
first young
Africa,
people,
you
actually.
will
Now that you take
not
it there,
only,
I wanted, sorry,
yeah,
Zinhle, to catch you in it, but I wanted to take it there to say, Mina, personally, the reason why I'm here is because my father was part of the scarce skills. He was an engineer when he was
exactly.
poached
So
to
I
come
don't
and stay here.
understand, Uguti,
So,
how you will be pro people that if they find you at a clinic and you have a South African passport, which you got legally, because you are part of scarce skills and you have all the rights, because the government of South Africa said, no, we don't have these skills in South Africa, so we will fast track everything for you, including getting you an ID. And they get you an ID within 2 years, and you get privileges. And you get you become a South African according to privilege because you have scarce skills, and then somebody who has never even left their province, even does not know even anything about Amaska skills and home affairs and all of that, then will now come and tell you, Uguti, you need to leave my country
okay, Zinhle.
when they have
No,
no
I'm not
idea.
saying, Mina, I'm behind them. I said I understand where it's coming from, right? Yonke into it starts out with good intentions, then it gets out of hand. Yeah, but this thing of pushing people out of clinics, that's unacceptable. Yes, I'm not.
Dudula is out of hand, Chomi. Dudula
Eyadudula
nje,
yona
it doesn't
angiyi-support, but
matter
ngiyasho ukuthi
which way you
I
look
can
at it,
understand where the
Dudula
root
is out
of
of hand.
xenophobia comes from, because again, it's like also like what I'm saying is I'm standing in the middle because I understand the plight of a foreigner that will leave their hometown to come and get cold Ikwerekwere here in South Africa and live through it because they understand, they know ukuthi lapha suka khona yazi it's worse than, so ngamane they'd rather live through it and make a living for their family and whatnot. That's why I'm saying I understand that. But also in the same breath, I also understand the South African that is saying Mabahambe, because all they're exposed to, let me tell you, there are people who are not exposed to Lama high skills foreigners that you are talking about. Understand that not everybody is. Bona, they are exposed to the ones
So
that are not
Kanya,
exposed
every
to
other
no, no, no,
African that is high skilled,
no,
that
no,
is
no,
here on those visas that are high skilled, should now cower to those ignorant people.
But did I say that?
Because if that's
Is
what
that
we
what
need
I
to do,
said though?
those ignorant people need to go and teach themselves. In fact, we the South Africans that know about that law, that know about that, should be the ones teaching them.
But is there a point where you will let me finish my point? I'm
Sorry,
asking for
sissy,
a friend.
sorry, John,
I'm
sorry,
just
sorry,
asking for
sorry,
a
sorry.
friend. Is there? Will it come and it will happen? Yeah. What I was saying, Mina, is Ugut. Again, like what I said, the system is being rattled. It's like putting those rats inside one container. Uwadligi's. Right now, there's those that come here. They don't know. Some are carjackers, some are this. And there are people who are only exposed to those kinds of people. There are people who are only exposed to about my friend that stand in the corners of town about my size, I mean to say, that stand in the corners of town harassing women. There are people whose exposure is limited to the bottom of the barrel kind of people, unfortunately, that they don't get the exposure. There are actual foreigners that are adding value to the country that you live in. There are actual foreigners who are doing things, who are doing this, who are doing that, who are doing this. You understand? A lot of people are not exposed to that. And the mawungabheka laba abantu ababhizi ngokuthi mabahambe are people who are not exposed to those kinds of people where they know, like there are some people who
This is
don't
where
know.
the
There are some no no
disingenuity.
no angaqedi. Angaqedi.
Okay, sorry.
Sanibonani, guys. That's just the fire.
Oh, saying he moderator. I didn't know I was a moderator.
Matt Daniel.
Okay.
Kanya, please land, ne? Because I have a rebuttal for that.
But you
You can
keep
please land.
interrupting me, and you're gonna say, okay. Can I first just welcome Daniel to the panel, because like the number of times you've interrupted me, you make me go in circles at this point, hey?
Sorry, John. Sorry.
At this point, saying hamba in circles, and I'm not landing my plane anymore because
Oh,
I've
Lord,
used.
no. Yusuf.
Okay. Let me vent. You can't hurt my feelings. And then when I'm venting, ufuna ukungikhatha and have no, let me vent. Anyway, I'm joking. Daniel, how are you? Hayi, ngiyaphila
Wayne,
nami.
this guy is kind of annoying. No offense.
No, but you can't do that, Shamizi. You can't do that.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I thought I muted myself.
No, you can't do that, Umuntu, when they've joined the panel. If let them first annoy you, then you can say they are annoying. Tonight is a fresh night. Your outstandings from last night and the night before has gone down. Tonight is a
What did
fresh
you say?
night. No, it's being disrespectful. Anyway, how are you, Daniel?
Angiyaphila, sengifila offended, angazi ukuthi noma ngihlike na. No?
Is it me okanye uDaniel akazwakali?
You're not very audible, Daniel. Angazi kwenzakalani nge-mic yakho.
Guys, no, angazi, ngingangizwa manje.
Cha, angazi ukuthi ne-speakers
Can hear you, but your voice is muffled.
It's like une
It's like
earphones.
Fagama
Remove your
earphone.
earphones.
Are you wearing earphones?
Okay, guys, ngingangizwa manje.
Are you wearing earphones?
Yeah, ngifaka
Yeah, then that's the earphones that are causing the problem.
Cela usikhululela ama-earphones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or at least the best solution is like getting
Okay,
closer
guys,
to your
angazi noma
microphone.
ngiyazwakala kangcono manje. Yeah.
That's
Why keep it on my earphone?
Okay, guys, like regarding Arena, guys, the only thing that I just would like to say is Obuti. Guys, there's a
Daniel,
saying in English that
we
says,
can hear you,
I
but
can't hear
barely.
you.
It needs too much
Okay,
effort from
guys,
us.
let's be completely silent. Ke simuzwe uDaniel ukuthi uthini, because clearly his sound ayimphathanga kahle.
Hello, guys, angazi if ngangizwa now, but because with this.
Okay. Hi, Unathi. It's Daniel, sicela usilungisele isound yakho ne, because there's something
Okay, guys,
engahambi kahle
ngangizwa
ngesound yakho. In the meantime, ngicela welcome Unathi to the
It's the
panel.
earphones.
No, but like
The earphones, they make your voice sound muffled.
But we can't hear
So
you.
we can't hear you.
Ayeke usiphikise sikutshela kahle ukuthi asikuzwa. Like senze njani ke manje? Asikuzwa. Okay, hi Unathi. Unathi phuma kuma comment section sizokhuluma nawe la. Woza la.
Nawe, nomlomo omkhulu.
Woza la. Uzokhuluma nathi. Yekela i-comment section uze la. Kanjini.
Oh,
know what
Tanya.
Yo, let's go.
No, because ngiyabona lo muntu siyambingelela uyasizista ene mara kune-comment yakhe la ene nguye kuma-comment section ibanjwe nguye
Kanya, let's also be aware ukuthi not everybody on this panel can speak isiNgoni. I know we revert to it.
Unathi can
anytime.
speak isiNguni. I am calling Unathi here. There's no njani
Angiphume ayisafuni mina ke lena.
Unathi njani kuthiwa then Unathi come and explain.
Nake kwi-panel ndizophuma because i-panel linabantu bayo and I am not one of them.
What do you mean?
I could
You
never.
haven't even-
Yeah, well,
you
the
haven't-
topic
Why?
right now is very sensitive. So I'd rather be
Please,
down there.
Lalela, we tackle sensitive topics like every day. Sicishe sinyisane siphuma sifuna ukukhalisana, siphume sifuna
Kanya,
ukushayana.
Kanya, Kanya.
That is the
Kanya
point. That is the
English.
Zinhle. I was responding to what Viwe was saying. Antona, why you ufuna ukulawula moderator?
No,
Wait.
Macho.
So
No, I'm
yes.
saying because a lot of people here also want to understand what we are rebutting. Yeah, I understand.
Okay. I get you.
Yeah, please.
All right. But guys, that I won't. I'm sorry. I'm I'm a mixer, guys. I'm a mixologist when it comes to lingo languages.
Yeah.
So bear with me. Like my English bundles after 5. Vile, please do tell us what you are.
Hi guys.
Asoze Unati. We've
Hi,
removed the
Unat.
attention from you. Saras, we've removed the attention from you. Now you wanna unmute your mic. And why are you playing hard to get or something?
I wish it's my daughter's having now and I had to remove her name. So anyways, to cut the long story short, I was trying to say guys, for the march to be successful next week, the police officers, they need to make sure they protect the African people because we're not sure what's going to happen next week, right? And this will also include the taxi associations. They need to also make sure people don't use taxis so that it can be a legit march instead of us. I don't know, but the police officers, they need to protect us. I think they need to be on our side the most, just in case.
Do you think the
Unat,
police
before you
officers do have the capacity to actually protect each and every individual? Because, okay, I'm going to stop there. Do you think they actually have the capacity to protect us all?
I don't know, but I think if they did, that's what they mean to do.
I think they do. I think they
I think
do.
that's what they mean
if
to
I
do.
may ask,
They need to protect us.
Miss,
That's what they have to
as
do.
long as
Guys,
everything
hello,
is
Zinhle
done
and Shamsi. Can you
accordingly.
please allow Zinhle no Shamsi? I know we were talking back and forth, and this is a dialogue, it's a conversation, and all of that. But can we let Umuntu, who's actually submitting, have their moment to submit, and then let everybody submit their points, and then after that we can come in and rebuttal. Don't rebuttal while you understand.
Okay, sorry, Shami. But while I'm saying sorry.
No, you can't say sorry and say but. You can't say sorry and say but.
And I'll say this from I was at the Africa Day march, right? And we were in support of Ore and all of that Pan-Africanist march, and we had the police even guarding us. They marched with us. They still stayed with us when we were there, and they still escorted us when we needed to be escorted. So, to some degree, let's give the SAPS the I call it ways true. They will do it. They will do it as long as it's done within the parameters of the law. They will protect us as long as it's done within the parameters of the law. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay. So now what's your actual submission on this point? Because Shamsi just raised the point that you guys didn't submit, and I'm sorry, I took for granted that you guys said you still wanted to feel it out before you make a submission. So is there a submission that you have to make regarding this conversation now as outside of the rebuttal?
No. I didn't have a submission. I think she was still submitting something that was alluding to the fact that this is what we need to do, and I was saying in support that we do have that support from the SAPS.
I get that, but the thing is, you didn't give her the opportunity to actually answer.
Sorry,
which
Ngegalogu.
no, I'm not saying it. I'm not
Sorry.
attacking you, Sandra Sam. I'm not attacking you. I'm just
Eh.
saying, can we structure the life in such a way that we allow people to fully express themselves? Because Nami, uge wang round
Me, sweet
Is this
soul like me. Oh
the
yeah,
very
sorry,
start
sorry. You
the
people
very
can go.
certain who I'm talking to?
Please go.
Eh?
Please
Exactly.
continue.
So, Shamsi, please make your submission, Sandra Sam. Before and then after that, I'd like to take the opportunity to welcome Blockchain No Legacy. But for now, Shamsi, can you make your point? Can you
Oh
make your
no, I
submission?
wanted to ask my sister Sis Unati to be more clear about the us she was actually talking about, because I was lost between us, the South Africans, or us, the non-South Africans that are not supporting
No, she
non,
wasn't referring to any.
or us who.
She was not referring to the Twitter movement. I think she was referring to indaba yamatekisi namalo namanasika nama Bolt and Uber. I don't know. That's what I picked up from that, and I stand to be corrected.
Oh,
But
okay.
I don't think she was talking about abantu bama different nationality. Ukuthi thina ngithi we took it there because of the no to xenophobia, because we did mention that we are not fully sure what the gist of this march is all about. So yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Can
So
we
for
try
now,
to add Daniel, because I think he has a lot to say.
he
I don't
must
know if his
request.
speaker is okay.
Yeah. Okay. Legacy. Hi, Legacy.
Good evening, my lady. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How do you do?
I'm good. I'm good. Hello, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening. So, listen, guys. I have a teenager in the house.
Panel. They won't shut up. They don't know how to keep quiet. This panel. Don't greet them. Just keep it.
I will fight you again. I will fight you again.
You're proving my point. I'll tell you which panel to greet. This one.
Listen, I don't know. I don't know if this topic is if I'm too old for this topic, right? But
Yeah,
anyway, let me give my 2 cents, because I've got a teenager in the house. So I obviously have to be involved somehow or the other. So apparently the march is about quite a few things, about giving the teenagers more power, about the fees that they've been blacklisted for, about the jobs, not having jobs. So apparently it's a long list of things. So my thing is that I think it needs to be done. So my conversation with her was that it definitely needs to be done, because now there's the whole thing also that happened in Nepal, right? About overthrowing the government and all that. So I don't know what the outcome of this march is going to be. I just hope it's going to be peaceful. And like my conversation was with her that, being young, you might have all the knowledge, like textbook knowledge, but you also need to acquire wisdom, especially when you want to lead. You need to go in with discernment, and you need to do things in a proper way. Don't just be hard-headed about wanting things to be done your way. So I do agree with the march. I think it is absolutely necessary, especially for the current state of affairs with our government. I think the youth will most probably highlight a lot of points that the current older folk in the government are not highlighting. And there needs to be change. There definitely needs to be change.
Sorry to catch you. I'm just so glad I heard you say you do agree with the march, meaning you understand what the whole concept of this march is. I would just, before you go further in and deeper into detail, can you please just explain to those of us on the panel, on the comment section, who don't fully understand what the objective of this march is and what we are basically the whole gist around this march. Can you just give us a short rundown on what this is about?
Okay, so the way I understand, there's quite a few. There's a list, right? So it's the fees. So there's the students that are going to be blacklisted for taking student loans even before they are employed. If they can't pay those fees, they're already blacklisted. Then there's also the unemployment rate for students that come out of varsity, or they have now obtained their degrees and whatever, and they still unemployed. Then there's also the white supremacy thing that has been an issue, and they feel that the government is not listening to the people on the ground. So it's like quite a few things that they
So it's
marching for.
multiple issues coming together. It's multiple people who have issues with the government, particularly. It's not an Operation Dudula situation, or it's now basically the
No,
people
they actually
of the government.
for foreigners. The way I understand it, they're actually for
Mm.
foreigners. They want foreigners to be legalized and to pay tax, so that there is a mainstream, that everybody is documented, and there's job creation, and they feel that with foreigners being legalized, with them paying taxes, it will allow for job creation, that kind of thing.
Ma'am, can I please
Okay.
interject? Or do you want to stop me, Kanya?
You
If you
you
want to
can't
stop me
interject.
until I
That's what
wait
it
my
is.
if you want me to wait my turn, Kanya, I will. But I would really love to wait my turn.
Wena kahle kahle awulawuleki sizokwenza you are that child that parents say yes
Angisho ngicela
ngizokubonayo.
Khanya,
That's
Khanya.
why ngikutshela
Uyabona
ukubona you are
ukuthi
that child that
ngiyacela.
parents say
Khanya ngiyacela.
ngizokubonayo, but
Ngithi ngiyakwazi
I'm just
yini
saying
ukungena
continue.
or should I wait my
Phela
turn?
ukuchaza
Can I
khuluma angeke
or should I wait my
interject
turn, Kanya?
ngidonse
Okay, I
nenkulumo.
can
You won't be
bow
Kanya,
down.
should
I
I wait
can
my
bow down to
turn?
you. Go ahead.
Kanya,
Go
should I
ahead.
wait my turn or can I interject? If you don't allow me to interject, I can wait my turn.
Carry on. I'm giving you the opportunity. Carry on.
No. Kanya is moderating right now, so I want to understand from Kanya. Can I interject or should I wait my turn?
But I'm giving you the platform, so why don't you take it? Because I can also go against what Kanye is gonna say if she says
Oh,
yes.
okay. Legacy. Oh, now I'm losing my trail of thought. I'm on the spectrum of ADHD, so like I lose my trail of thought very easy. Um, you are saying, let me understand what you were saying. First of all, before I even rebuttal, let me understand. You are saying because of the government, then people are not able to. No, please, can you just
No, I'm not
reiterate?
gonna repeat. You were
Can
supposed to take
you please
notes,
reiterate?
man.
No, sorry. Sorry, Legacy. This is just me from you.
What do you
Can you
want?
please
What do you
reiterate?
want me to
Can
repeat?
you please reiterate what you were saying
No, I can't
so
reiterate
that
anything.
I
Just give me
understand?
certain points that you wanted.
Eh?
Give me certain points. I'm not gonna repeat everything.
No. What you were saying, it wasn't very
Regarding
long,
what? Okay,
but it was
regarding
very
what?
powerful.
Sisi?
It wasn't
Regarding
very
what?
long, but it was very powerful.
Which
And
part
the
do you
reason
need
why I
to
wanted to
reiterate?
rebuttal it was because it was very powerful. But now I can't remember the
Okay,
whole thing.
was
Which part
regard
triggered
to
your
the
rebuttal?
schooling, or the foreigners, or what was it that you wanted?
The schooling and
With regards to the schooling, it was the blacklisting, right? and then the
Mm-hmm.
foreigners was to be legalized, documented, and be taxed.
Mm-hmm. So, you don't think most of the foreigners that are schooling in South Africa, and never mind the fact that most of the foreigners that are within schooling age in South Africa that are not documented are not able to get schooling, but you are saying they should be documented upon what?
Okay,
I understand.
totally.
I feel like Zinhle, I feel like you are looking to rebuttal. Ufuna
Yeah, like you
No,
come in
no,
for the
it's
of
not
wrong
which
that,
person.
no, let
Chomi.
me
It's not
finish.
that. Because
We will
I
get
have
to the stage
first-hand
of defense.
experience. I have first-hand experience with what you call foreigners in South Africa. First of all, the first thing that we need to understand is there's no such thing as a foreigner. If you are an indigenous African, there's no such thing as a foreigner
Do
in
you mind
Africa.
me asking which side you fall on?
According to
People
what?
should learn English sometimes, eh?
According to what?
Why you can't come ngokuthi people should learn English sometimes. Do you have a point to make or not?
I just made my point. People should learn English.
Based on
Who's
what?
that remark for?
Okay, let me just define my word, my submission. Sorry to disturb you. How are you? Hopefully you're good. I'm gonna irritate you by submitting this. Hopefully it treats you well, handles you. What I'm saying about people should learn
You
English.
can't submit before me, bro.
Wait, let me tell you.
You
Blockchain,
can't
wait.
submit
This
before
is not
me, bro.
cryptocurrency. Wait. Hold your attention. This
You
is not
cannot
cryptocurrency.
submit before me. I was here before you. How make a
Well,
I can go.
unless you've got
I
funds in your
can go.
cryptocurrency and you are
I
doing
and
good,
Peter,
Wait,
like,
wait.
your
I didn't talk
give
tokens
about
are trading,
give
then
her
it's
the
cryptocurrency.
fine.
platform. You will
Now
not
let me ask
die
my
I
just
don't
question.
care
because
Let
you
me ask
about
gave
my
her the
question about
platform,
English,
please.
because he's one of the people that can't speak English. So I think my point will be very
Aima
valid.
nawe and Pitwala,
It will be
Aima nawe
valid,
and
Mara.
Pitwala.
Uzopeda, ngifuna
Please
ukumlungisa
allow
akhulume
her.
kahle.
She wants to speak.
Oh,
Please
it's her.
allow
So I
her.
thought it was a him. You see, even your voice.
Here, Chief. Here,
Y'all are
Chief.
being different.
Mr. Nbitwala, it is important that you respect protocol, Yamo.
Submit,
Okay.
Bob. I'm listening.
Sorry about that
This
blockchain, ne? Sorry about
the
that. Please do make your submission.
all right. My submission is here, guys.
Hey, your
The
background
strike.
is noisy, blockchain. Can you please move to a more quieter
What
space because we are battling to hear you.
there's no quieter space. Okay, I'll speak a bit
Hayi
louder.
phela manje usimamelisa kabuhlungu angeke usitsho there's no quiet usimamelisa kabuhlungu.
No, okay, sharp.
Please find a quieter place when
I
a
think I can
blockchain.
keep my submission then. Thanks.
No, it's not about keeping your submission, but please, when you get to a quieter space, we'd love to hear what you say. I think my last encounter with you, I enjoyed it, but the problem is the sound. But anyway, Mr. Twala. Mr. Twala?
They started. Hello. Can you?
Sir of the most
Oh,
articulate English on the planet of the face of God's
No,
earth,
now
would you
is it
it's
fine
please
now?
like,
grace us
yeah,
with
don't be
your
sarcastic.
English?
But I'm being muted. Is it
I
fine?
Who's muting you?
It's something else. Don't worry. I know you won't understand. That's why I'm saying English is important. Now, let me continue about English. Ne? Zinhle ongikhumbuza indodakazi yami legama. Igama le xenophobia in the dictionary that you have yourself is defined there, right? And when you say there is no such, I fail to understand when it's written on the dictionary and it's explained what it represents and what it stands for. The issue, it's interpretation yalezinto in understanding of how we adopt it in. We want to make things difficult for each other and we ignore the fact that lento le siyifunda kulabantu la, we don't know it. We're not white people, we are
And
blacks.
and Peter,
Wait, let me submit this.
Hayi
Wait, let me
bosi
submit this
angifuni
English
ukuzwana
part.
nawe wedwa
wait,
angeke
Okay.
manje
This is
Wait.
not about me or you or
Zinhle angeke sikhuzane nawe wedwa angeke everybody who's tried to make a submission la unqandwa nguwe you can't
I'm
no
trying
no
to
no
make him understand that
let him finish
even the host is not South African. Even the host is not South
let
African.
him
So
finish Zinhle angeke
if we have to submit anything, can we do it in English?
Yes, we'll do it in English. I'll continue in English. But however, remember it's vernacular that applies to majority because most people are Shonas and that kind of things. But based on the fact that it is a dominating communication language, so we'll use it, right? If you do not hear us or hear me, please raise your hands or just allow me to stop, then I'll explain what I was saying. Now, what I emphasize in terms of the English is because now here is written no to xenophobia, no to hate speech. Very important, very important. Those are English words. And when you talk about hate speech, you define it as something that is a word that is undermining another person, showing hate, doesn't show love, how you behave towards another person. Whether that person is your friend or relative or bloodline, how you treat them, the hate, that's what they define. And in terms of speaking, what you say to them, your xenophobia, your kwera and stuff, right? You are undermining who they are in character. In actuality, when you then practice it, it then becomes an act. That's why they define it what as xenophobia. Now, the problem that we have as South Africans, we think that we own this planet, as if this planet is ours, as if we are given South Africa as ours. And it's not. We found it here and we live it here. It's a fact. What we own is a very life that we bring into this planet, of which that's what we neglect. You go to the hospitals, kids are neglected there. The kids are being unalived there. Kids are being raped there. And they have parents that brought them into this planet. Women. Yes, of course, women will blame men and say, Lempen slept with me and left me like that. But it was an action between two people who were involved and they loved each other. Emotionally so, they decided to get naked and do their thing. I'm going to be factually so, then they end up blaming others because now they cannot maintain the mistakes that they made. Do I make a point by this? Yes, there is a point. When we march towards something that we feel untreated in, we should march for truth, not to waste other people's time because we have personal agendas towards certain things that are not working towards us. Who must work, who must not work? If I come to your country and identify an opportunity that I can be employable on it, and you are sitting at home, must you blame me? No, I must not blame you. I must blame your laziness, your uneducatedness, your unskilled levels, or probably your need or your anger to actually approach things in a way that is smart, be ambitious in life. Instead, you use it for what? Jealous. You fight other people in terms of gaining progress and stuff, right? This whole issue of other people being called Zimbabweans and whatever, or xenophobic and stuff. I understand. The term of being an immigrant means that you came to a country that is not of yours by birth. You're not born in that planet. You're not born in that place. So it is not yours to actually claim right and say. But once you are born in that area, it then becomes a right for you to advocate, to say, I was born in here, in this area, therefore I am part of this place. No, you cannot neglect someone who was born there. Now, when we then have this thing of governance, we then confuse this thing to say, when we're governing, what is governance and what is government and what are people, and what is cultures, traditions, norms and belief system, and this country that we are in, what makes it this country, what makes it South Africa at the end of the day. Because it's the same as Europe, it's the same as Zimbabwe, it's the same as Swaziland. It is just a name placed there to identify that area in the map. So you cannot be confused by identifying an area. If I go outside wherever I'm at and I'm saying I'm going somewhere, I must say where I'm going. Right? That's good. So now, why do we have to fight amongst
Sicela ulende ngoba ngiyazi you're not a man of few words. You're a man of quiet. You're a man of quiet.
Now I learn. Okay, sengiyalenda ke. Sengifaka lento ukuthi engikwatisa yini ngeze ukuthi ngifake English.
Moderator for a reason.
I'm closing.
Yes, I
Last
am
closing
allowing him, but
statement that
I
will take me
need
only
you
1 second.
to go
Closing
now.
statement. In closing,
Oh.
ne, I saw this thing. As much as you are advocating here, remember we're influencing change. We're influencing some kind of a drive that others can listen to and get to be influenced in a certain way of behaving. You know, they might behave positively, they might behave negatively. That's why some will be irritated, some will be angry. You know, that's the influence we're bringing. But what kind of change are we bringing? Now I saw this advert. Nyana, it wasn't in the news. They were talking about us on TikTok, saying to people that they will get jobs overseas and stuff. Of which I never see that, you know. So I then noticed to say the narrative what we are doing is a good job, but there are other people that do not want what we are spreading to be known to others. They don't want the unity to be there. You know, they want the separation to exist so that we'll forever be lost cannons in the world that is ours. So when I'm saying you are educated now, you know how to read and write, do something. If you can't, ask me to do it for you. Full stop.
Okay. Can we take this opportunity to quickly welcome Deems and Butsia onto the panel?
Welcome, welcome.
We'll start with
Welcome.
Deems. He came first. Excuse the pun. Hi, Deems.
I'll give Shamsi to speak first. She wants to speak first, and I'll speak after. I got 2 cents to add. She can add first, though. Ladies first.
All right. Shamsi Shams, please go
Thank
ahead
you.
with giving that
I wanted to ask
opportunity.
Miss Legacy because she said something like when I was listening to you making all your points about what the march was, I realized that you don't have a problem with the people that are not from the country. From what I'm understanding, it's like you have a problem with the government itself. Is that correct?
Hi, Shamsi. Yes. So, like I said earlier, it's not actually my fight, right? It's
Yes.
the youth. But because my daughter is a youth, I obviously have to be a part of it. I don't agree with what a lot of things that the government does, and therefore I am roped into this. So, yeah, I definitely stand for what I said earlier.
Okay, thank you very much. I just wanted to get that so I can make a proper point because I heard someone in the comments saying the people that are not South African, they come here and they do things that they're not supposed to be doing. But I also wanted to ask I asked him what are those things, and he said they enforce their cultures like onto us, and that is not true because if you want to learn another person's culture, you will ask about it, you'll learn about it, right? And this thingy for stealing jobs and whatnot, it's not the non-South Africans' fault that they get jobs better than we get jobs. It's also not our fault that we don't get the jobs because firstly, I don't want to use the word laziness because it's not laziness. It goes with luck. I may go and apply to a certain place. A Zimbabwean may go and apply to a certain place. And 100% of the time, people think I will get that job, but it's not the case. Whoever is lucky is going to get that job. So it's not about laziness and whatnot, Mr. Twala. It's just, for me, I think it goes about luck. You see, I don't think it's laziness. I was corrected about this yesterday because there is no proof that black people are lazy, apparently. Like, there is no statistical proof about that. There is no observational proof because you do not know what the person did not to get that job. And also, a lot of things that are happening in South Africa are not the people's fault. I always blame the government because the fact that there is unemployment, I blame the government. Like, for starters, kill me or don't kill me, it's up to you. For starters, our president is busy taking pictures with people my age instead of, like, really, he hasn't spoken about this Operation Dudula. I've been waiting on the news for him to talk about it because I don't like it. I have family and friends that are non-South Africans and they're being killed for no reason in Johannesburg. I lost a cousin who was killed for no reason.
just because she's non-South African, and yes, I'm so sorry to say this, but yes, she was illegal, but it was not her fault. But she was killed. Why? I don't know. And our president haven't spoken about this. So when you go around like pointing fingers, please be careful who you point your finger at, because most of the time it's usually not that person's fault. And if anyone is confused, I am against xenophobia because it's not the people's fault. They left their country they came to our country to teach us skills so that we can learn about them. We can also go to their country. It's our choice. It's just that we don't want to go to their country. And that is not our fault. And it's not their fault that we don't want to leave to go to their country. For starters, if you want to, you want Operation Tudula to happen, please, here's an example. Zimbabwe is an example. Look at what happened to Zimbabwe. Is that what you'll want to happen to South Africa? Because if you are, I will be a Dudula myself. I will leave. And I'm South African, 100% South African. And no, yes, I was born from two different parents. My mother is South African. And my father, well, I wouldn't say he's South African because he got his papers later. He got his citizenship later on. But I will be the first to leave because I believe this xenophobia thing, it's not about papers and whatnot. People just hate the idea of foreigners in a country, which is, I don't understand why, because you can't say they take our jobs. Which jobs? South Africa doesn't have jobs because it doesn't have jobs. Our government is not giving us opportunities to do those jobs. Our government is not experimenting with other countries like how other countries have foreign exchange students. That's not happening. And it's not the people's fault. Blame government people. Like, stop being closed. Like, I think it's Miss Kanya who made an example that we take two rats, we put them inside a can, we're shaking it. You guys are busy pointing fingers at the other rat instead of pointing fingers at the person who put you in that situation in the first place. Like, seriously, guys, think about this. Mr. Daniel, I'm mostly speaking to you. I mean, no offense, but think about what you're saying. Because nobody forced you to inherit or take or indoctrinate another person's culture. It's up to you. Because so far I've learned Swahili. It's not that I didn't want to learn Swahili. I learned it because I wanted to. It's not, it's like you can't be blaming foreigners for things that are happening in our country. For starters, it's our country. How is another person? Because you can't say you can't blame another person for messing up your house. Meanwhile, it's your house. Because you have the right to clean up your house if you want to. If you don't want to, then you will let it be. So you can't be blaming non-South Africans for the things that are happening in South Africa. Because they did nothing wrong. They're just here to try and better their lives because their countries are in hell. And they're not trying to make our country in hell. They just want better lives for themselves. Like, think about the intentions. Don't just be quick to judge or whatever. Yeah, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you for your submission, Shamsi. I have comments as well to add, but I'd rather first allow Putsia to make his submission because he's had his hand raised in the comment section for quite a bit.
Sanibonani kupaneli. uDeems kumele akhulume before ngikhulume.
Pha manje ubuphakamiselani isandla?
No, angisho ngiphakamisela ukuthi ngifuna ukukhuluma, but ngoba ngiyazi ukuthi insizwa lena ithe inikele umuntu wesimame ukuthi akhulume ecala wenze ladies first. Ke ngimnikele i-opportunity.
Hayi, qamba manga. Let's give it to Deems. Qamba manga. Khona manje, but let's give it to Deems.
Are you ready to make your submission?
Yeah, I'm about to talk. I don't know.
Alrighty then, please come forward.
Okay, so let's start on the topic. Okay, I'm not sure about the march. No to xenophobia. Okay, let's speak on that topic. I feel like when there's xenophobia in South Africa, it's very colorist because people always focus on people that are black from black countries. They don't focus on the other countries where other people are coming in and taking jobs. I'll give an example. I know this sounds very controversial, but I'll give a good example. Chinese people coming into the country, You get 300 people doing jobs where it's general work, where the local can do the work, but they bring them in, and the Chinese bring in people that are white collar criminals and do the work. People don't march against that. Operation Tutula is not there, but you'll find them in Hillbrow, you'll find them in Points, you'll find them in all those places. But on certain jobs like that, where people in the community can do the work, they're not there. It doesn't make sense to me. So I feel like when it comes to xenophobia, it's very colorist. They don't focus on the right things. They don't focus on jobs where people can actually do the jobs. Another point, I do blame the government because government has made a lot of deals with other countries where they're going to bring in their white collar criminals because people are not deported. There's a lot of illegal immigrants in terms of Chinese. I'll give an example. In KZN, there's a lot of illegal Chinese working on construction sites, but you will not find people getting deported because the government has arranged it in such a way that you're not going to get the Department of Labor coming there and inspecting. But you will get the soldiers protecting them from the communities that are going to toy outside those certain sites. And I'm talking about construction sites. So it's a little bit unfair, I mean, to the communities that are working in that area. Also, in terms of South Africans, so there's lots of opportunities that South Africans don't take on. For example, like tuck shops. People will open up a tuck shop anywhere, and people get mad at people. They come from other countries, like people from Pakistan or people from Somalia open up tuck shops everywhere and whatever. But those opportunities are there for South Africans. Can you blame them for seeing opportunities that people don't take? They come from their countries where there's war, where people are coming from poverty and whatever. They come here and they do their skills. Like you'll get, for example, your Pakistanis, they'll be going into doing eyebrows, cutting hair, doing those head massages and everything. They come train fixing phones and whatever. We can do the same skills. We can learn the same skills. But South Africans are also not taking on those opportunities, and they see that opportunities in South Africa. You can't blame the government for that. But what you can blame the government for is, for example, once again, people coming from other country with skills that people in South Africa can do, but they're blocked from actually getting into those jobs within the area. I think you can blame them in that way, but where there's opportunities where you can make money, yeah, you can't blame people for that. Opening a tuck shop is not too much of a skill. I mean, you gotta look for the opportunity, look for a quiet place, and you open it up. But obviously, you need the capital, and hence you got these programs where government has implemented in terms of your tuck shops and whatever, where they'll fund you and where you can open up your tuck shop. People need to be aware of those opportunities. Maybe you can blame governments in that sense of not making people aware, but there are opportunities out there. But I think it's like half and half. I'm no to xenophobia, but also government is to blame for certain aspects of lack of unemployment in South Africa.
All right, thank you for your submission, teams. Putia, do you please go
Sanibonani.
ahead?
Yes, please.
Hey, la ngamageba namhla ngathi liyabusa, but good evening to everyone on the panel. Good evening to Mr. Ancient himself and everyone in the comment section. First and foremost, I'd like to, on behalf of my morals and values, and those that align with such, apologize to any nationality that has experienced the definition of xenophobia and hate speech in this country. I think that is my first and foremost. I don't align with the definitions of what these things are. It is completely unnecessary. However, I must say that there are manners of dealing with the issues in the country. And here I submit suggestions, I submit my point of view on things. First and foremost, I'm going to address an issue that was said by Cupcakes. I was listening to him, and I'm not a politician. I haven't voted since before 2014, I think. But anyway, Cupcake said there's a lot to learn from the DA-led municipalities that are successful. And I was talking to a certain parliamentary member who serves under the committee that is going to be interviewing Mr. Mkhwanazi. I asked him a simple question. That was before Cupcakes came out to tell his councillors that there's something to learn. And I asked, I saw a video on Facebook of 4 gentlemen being assassinated ruthlessly with multiple rounds of bullets. And I asked him and I said, what is so difficult of this committee? Because it seems as if the president himself is unable to mobilize, whether it was an army, whether it was a private security, or every stakeholder that is in law enforcement. The very same way that is being done in a prison. Unexpected, precise, straight to the point. We search, we seize, we arrest, we lock up. Because what is happening in the colored community is very sad and must be addressed with the highest of importance. I'm passing. The reason why I passed through Cupcakes, which is the president, is because to a certain extent, I cannot blame the government. It is said that the people must lead. The people, number one, and I speak of challenges that municipalities will face, is number one, lack of community participation. That goes right to the 24th of March. From where I stand and where I stay, in the community that I stay in, this will not happen. Young people will not go there. Young people will not be marching and taking to the streets. And I cannot clap hands if I'm going to see 2,000 people marching in the city of Mbombela versus the unemployed people sitting at home doing nothing. There is no community participation. There is lack of information that people, this is what you need to do. This is what you are able to do. This is how you hold a councillor. This is how you push things to happen. I challenge the NYDA and its mega and the Department of Enterprise and Business, and Tourism that came to a competition that was held by Nedbank through the T program, the Township Economic Alliance. And I challenged them and I said, as much as you say you are state organs that people come to, when people come there, you don't do this thing of assist them, but you can't go back to them and say, today we are able to work and you assist them. I want to say that as much as they do assist people and they actually do come, people did not come to that thing. You cannot sit and say to me in a competition where 50,000 is a grant and information is free, gifts are free, you had less than 150 young people come with businesses. If you want to say I speak from privilege, hey, we will have a very long conversation regarding that. Xenophobia, guys. The only reason why I'd have a problem with any foreign national, whether Chinese, France, Russian, is simply because of the means that we exchange on when it comes to labor rate. Because I work with my hands. I'm telling you, I'm willing to be a dagger boy. I am willing to take care of people's gardens. I'm willing to install aircons. But the means, we currently have an hourly rate set by the government at 28 Rand 80, if I'm not mistaken, I stand corrected, which is it's 29 Rand per hour. And if you calculate that daily, it's almost 290. Monthly, it's 5.7. And we are having simple examples of domestic workers, of people that are working in kitchens that are not even earning anywhere near this amount of 28 Rand. Specifically, I speak of a tavern that I manage from home. I think they are getting 10 Rand per hour. They are from Eswatini. They are being exploited, and I'm saying that there it is. But I cannot say now that the problem is laziness in South Africa. Ha, Begnan. That is not the issue. The issue here is the quality of life versus the amount people are willing to pay. I am no longer willing to do those jobs because of I have to do them for less than this. This person will come from whatever country they are coming from. And if you take whatever they have in a shop, whether it was a GTI, and you bring it in, I challenge you to take a Botswana GTI, a Swaziland GTI, or Mozambican, this is within the SADC region, and you put there that same car versus the one in South Africa. These are two different cars with two different quality. Clothing lines, foods that we eat. And I'm saying to you, this is a challenge that I face when I go work. That people, when you go to any company, is not willing to pay you the correct amount according to labor laws and is willing to take for someone else. I've got no problem with the foreign national. But in any case, let me rest there.
Righty, let's take this moment I agree with your point, Butsia, to say that the issue is not laziness, but the issue is that now South Africans get painted as lazy people just to suit the narrative of what business owners are trying to push, because they obviously won't admit to say that, okay, we are hiring foreigners because they are cheaper. They will obviously have to find a way to sugarcoat it and make it sound nice. But anyway, without further ado, can we take this moment to welcome Auti Eshapu to the panel?
Look at that. Look at that.
Katibandla, how are you, sir?
Am I dreaming or am I dreaming?
Yes.
After 5 weeks of complaining, Kanya finally welcomed me. Guys, this is a blessing.
You finally gave me the opportunity to welcome you.
Wow, the Lord works in mysterious ways.
Guys,
Praying for this moment, Baba.
Suga Kerara here, Auti. So tell us, sir, how are you? Are you alright?
I'm handsome as always.
Right, that we are not sure. But Mina, how are you? Are you well?
I am not fine. Today's topic is a heartfelt one.
What about it is touching your soul?
The fact that I have friends who are from other countries, you know. Yeah, mostly Indian and Chinese, you know. In my faculty, the Indian and Chinese are the most dominant in my faculty of work. You know, so when you're in that space, very high chance that you're going to interact with them. They love this part of life. How are you doing, Kanya?
What part of life is this part of life? Now you've got me curious. Please, can you? Just feed into my curiosity, kancane.
How are you doing, Kanya? Have you started using stone under your feet?
What? A stone under my feet? What is a stone supposed to do? Wait, I think I'm missing something here.
Kanya doesn't know what a stone does to the feet.
No, I don't, Shem. I haven't touched my feet in months. So
That is crazy. But anyways, yeah, man. My way of life is that faculty. I out Shapo. One of the most fascinating and beautiful things about me is this principle that I learned to know.
oh dear Lord.
That makes me who I am. I out Shapo. I don't care necessarily about your race. I don't really care where you're from. But I care about your values. I associate with people who have the same values as me. So if you are Nigerian and you value education, you and I will be friends. If you are Chinese and you value Chinese technology or technology in itself, you and I will be friends. If you are from Congo and you love soccer, we'll be friends. So today I stand and say no to xenophobia, guys. And I say so no to hate speech. And the hate speech one, it's a big one. Because these people that we call as foreigners and others, like Kanya, for example, they are our brothers and sisters. You know, they are brothers and sisters. You know, I could have come on this panel and looked at Kanya as a foreign concept, but I didn't. Because she's my sister. They are human beings like us. When they have free brains, they breathe and they wish to do something. When Ubutsia put it properly, South Africa doesn't have a laziness problem. When we have people in this country who are doing the best. But this is where I draw the line. I draw the line at ethics. That's where I draw the line. So if you perform a crime in South Africa or you do something that hurts South Africa, I don't look at that crime as committed by a foreign nation. I just see you as a criminal, whether you're South African or not. So to me, the bad things that they claim foreigners do and the good things they claim foreigners do, I look at them as proper human beings. So if you get robbed by a Nigerian guy, I'm going to say you got robbed because it could have been done by a South African guy. So ladies and gentlemen, let's stand up and say no to xenophobia, guys. Let's say no to hate speech. Let's understand that everyone who lives, male and female, they're our brothers, they're our sisters, and we need to understand that our lack of success is not their fault, my sister. It's not their fault. When you are in control of your destiny, your efforts, your value, that's all up to you. To blame someone else for your lack of success, that is being ignorant, my sister. Yes, that is being completely ignorant. To blame foreigners and say that foreigners are taking our jobs, they're taking our women, that is your fault, my brother. Yeah, what must they do if when I was ukshela? Nigeria was also ukshela. I was tired. But anyways, I don't want to speak about the baddies. This is what I'm saying. When we do things as South Africans, we need to understand that our lack of success and our lack of progress, it's not because of foreigners. It's not because of our brothers and sisters from other countries. It's simply because we are not putting
Sorry to catch you. When you are done, can you please assist with the moderating, and then because I'm gonna have to disappear for a little bit, but I'll come back.
I don't have full powers.
Yeah, we were moderator ngomlomo in terms of directing the panel.
Are you asking me or are you telling me?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, phela mawungafuni ask.
All right, since you're asking me, I accept the responsibility. Yes, as I was saying, I concur. Sorry, guys. All right, I'm done. Oh man. All right. Kanya says she wants me to be the man of the house,
I
and
was waiting on the.
so I don't have the power to bring you up or take you down. I only have the power to facilitate. So, supervisor out here sharp.
I will accept people, and if somebody's getting out of hand, just say so in the comment section, and then yeah.
So I must report to you.
Just say it takes one down. They're being a nuisance. Simple.
Dog. Report away.
Uyangithuma bese ngizolalela baba.
All right. Mangabe ngiyakuthuma kulungile. NP, you wanted to say something, my brother?
No, just wanted to elaborate on the lazy part because I think I had not only you but most of the submitters, they were emphasizing on the part that we are not lazy, no?
All right.
And
Feel
however,
free, my brother. And then
Come again?
Legacy also. I'm saying feel free to speak, and then after you, it will be Legacy.
No
She
problem.
said her daughter has something to say.
No problem. And also, just to add as well as what Legacy was adding, I think most of the people were speaking based on that point to say they are not lazy and they are now pointing the finger at the government, if I heard correctly, or there's other sources or negative influences that are hindering their success, And I think you also highlighted to say, why blame another person for your own misachievements? If you do not achieve and someone did achieve, it's not their fault, Tagar. And whether that person is an immigrant or a legal or a citizen of that country, it purely has no tangibility when it comes to competition because all of us have brains and all of our brains think differently and they apply different thoughts and different actions. As we speak now, someone else is thinking something else. Someone is like, Ish,
Twala,
I wish I could
inking
object to this guy.
ukuthi white people don't think we have brains. They think we need to be
My
assisted
sister,
with
you
our
don't
brains.
interrupt people when they're speaking. Eh?
Sorry,
Let them make a
Alti,
finish.
but I think Twala will understand what I'm saying.
You don't
Those people
interrupt
from the
people when
Kakasas.
they are speaking.
Okay, sorry,
So
Alti.
please mute and let them finish.
Okay, Twala, but you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I
Those people
understand.
from the
I
Caucasus
understand.
Mountains think we need to be assisted in thinking and everything.
I understand very well. I understand
Yeah.
very well. And however, in understanding, I also feel ignorant to say, if I'm able to achieve this and we're not uhlulwa, and if you're also able to achieve it, it means that we have two people who are able to achieve the same thing. There's competition. And we can be able to choose which one is the best so I can have the best performance. And the other one will always be motivated by the one that beats him in terms of how did he achieve that. I also want to get to that level because we're doing the same thing. It creates healthy competition in that way, right? But the moderators of Mklambe, the facilitators of that healthy competition, aren't the ones who are properly equipped. Of which that's one thing I always advocate and fight for when it comes to training and development, to say, do we have the proper skills in the job skills that we are seeking? We have a lot of general workers, like to speak sense. A lot of people that are employed, but when you ask their general positions, general workers. Some in the positions that be employed, they've been in that position ever since he started work. He's about to retire, he's been in that position. That's what is hindering success for other people that have to come into the pipeline. Then when you fire them, you get to be questioned to say, why are you firing them? No, they're incompetent for those positions. They've outstayed their stay there, they are welcome. It's like school. When you get to school in grade 1 and you take out of school in terms of metric, if you fail within the levels there, you repeat the levels. To a certain period of time, they chase you out of school. That's the same principles that happen at work, You cannot have one person for like the whole entire time frame of employment said he's been working for that company. He is not growing. So you do not invest in such people. Those are useless people that do not have to invest because they're only just there for the salary, not to develop themselves, not to equip themselves with the proper knowledge so that they can be better people out there. That's the challenge we're facing now. When you see others coming to the country, they came with ambition to change their lives and change what they left behind at home. That's the motivation they have. Our motivation is that we come from well taken care of families. We are spoiled. We are privileged as South Africans. Why am I saying that? Because of the constitution. Remember, the constitution of South Africa is the one that makes us privileged across other nations. When you go to Nigeria and stuff, they don't have the privileges South Africans have. As a South African, you can go anywhere and not be questioned as long as you can afford. Your ID and your passport allows you to come there. You're not questioned as a terrorist. You have a good standard. You are wanted to say, come, we want to hear about your country. However, we do not celebrate Tina Lendole. We undermine that. We then decide to say, I'm better than Utwala, therefore Utwala must not speak. I accept that. Eventually, there are people that are better than me, more better than me, and I learn from them. Those are the people that keep me to say, how did he do that thing? Can you please tell me? And he says, no, I can't tell you. Then I go and research and find out. And I call him and say, why should I can do it now. See, let me show you how I can do it. That's how I compete in life. And that's how I want to motivate others to say, don't be embarrassed by what others can be able to do. If you can do it, do it. Then if there's support, we can support you. Just like we're supporting this live now. There's many lives going on. There's many topics, but there's one person that speaks something that you take sense out of it, and it builds you, it grows you. Then you take that person and follow that person because what he told you built you, And see, Kulumile about laziness, and I still maintain the fact that we are lazy. If we were not lazy, we would not be pointing fingers at people that are making success, like Abo Rupert and stuff, singing the old songs that expired, Then we make them into new things and saying we now claiming them and say they're hate speech. It's fine. It's a song that expired a long time ago. Just because someone is motivated by the song based on experience. He was there when it started. He was part of the struggle. Then he sings it because now he has found achievement to say, you know why I started? I started there as a youth league. Now I'm the president of EFF, with this song. It's a celebration for him. Then someone becomes jealous of the movement that he has built. There's many other movements and forums that we build to support our narratives, the GBV, LQB, whatever. They have their own drives and feel like they're not welcome or they're not supported. So they build their own communities so they can feel themselves like they are accommodated in that space. So who am I to go to that environment and then question them, and want to say what they are doing is wrong? Who am I when it's not accommodated for me? It's not meant for me. I'm not a gay. I'm not lesbian. Then why do I question? I'm not an immigrant. Then why do I fight it? I'm a citizen of this country. Therefore, what is my priority? Is to ensure that the citizens in this country is protected. I follow the protocol, which is the constitution. I'm not misled by other people coming in. They are visitors. They can go anytime. They can leave. But what remains here is what I'm going to be building. As I'm dying, I'll have kids staying behind. Where will those graveyards be? Is that land mine or I'm renting? You'll find a lot of South Africans renting. And I ask myself, this person earns about 6,000 rand each and every month. They can afford to have a rent to buy a house. But no, Batalema flat in complexes and stuff. You find them in Paris each and every Saturday. You find them there. They're getting drunk. 10,000 rand spent on alcohol only. Then you ask yourself, is this a South Africa we are building? Or is just a mimic image of a South African? Then you come here in platforms and advocate and talk. And even embarrass each other and talk about other people to say, Usman Mayano is a so. It is not building that thing. It is actually destroying the nation. Then you come and blame the government. What? When you went and voted and say you want you Cyril to be there. Once Cyril is there, we question and say, we don't want you there. Do you want to be their position? You want to take that position? Of course. If you wanted a campaign, we'll vote for you and see if you can make the change that you are advocating and make noise about. It's not an easy position there. To control a country with millions of people inside and be able to give instructions that build them and protect them, it's not an easy job. Everyone has opposing views. As we speak here, now. And likely enough, there's a small group. Imagine what the president faces on a daily basis, especially when it comes to parliament. There's different people that come. Some of them throw chairs at you. it's a very, very tough situation to actually to control or manage. And the only thing that's critical and missing there are the skills to control it. And people are not learning those things. They are lazy. They're not apply. If they've learned, they're not applying. If you have a qualification now, you can ask all of them. They say, we've qualified. Now my qualifications fundel. Okay, fundeleni. Dololo. Why don't you build those businesses? Behambe no spend imali university. Man bezohlala emakhaya. Nifuna ukuqashwa ubani? Who's going to hire you? Who's building the company? Who has the money to hire you when you've never proven yourself of what you can be capable of building or producing? You know, we have startup companies in IT that were trying, to do a network, and those old kids wanted to block them. No, you don't want Starlink here. We don't want these things here.
Twala,
And I
you are
was like, funny.
patronizing.
Okay, let me
Twala, you
park
are
now. I park.
patronizing us. You are
No, I'm not.
patronizing
It's a
us.
response. Like, remember, I'm one of those people that were doing those things. One of
You
those
are
people.
patronizing us as
Yes, because I'm a South
learned.
African and I've been treated bad by South
You
Africans, so I
are
must respond.
patronizing us as learned South Africa, even if it's not even learned, but you are patronizing us. You are patronizing us. You are even deteriorating our even status that we even. Twala, you are
Accept what
patronizing.
I'm saying because you've done it to me. Accept
Twala,
it
you are patronizing us. That's all I'm gonna
because you've
tell
done
you.
it. Okay,
What do you
accept.
mean
Yes,
I've done it? You mean me
Wait,
as a
Zintle.
person, or you talking about the state as
Wait,
in its
guys,
entirety?
you as a citizen of the
guys.
country, South
Wait,
Africa,
uh,
you have not
I
Zintle.
protected me as a
patronized you
citizen of
as
the
a
country.
citizen of the country.
Wait, guys.
You are patronizing
It
us,
is
Wena. I
Zintle.
was such a
Zintle.
serious
You
even.
need to, Zintle. You need to calm down, my sister. You need to calm down. You need to let the man finish. And then there's a chance you'll get to rebuttal.
No, he was talking for a long time. That's why.
Yes, you need to be patient with him and allow him to finish. It's very important that you allow him to finish because we believe in freedom of expression and a fair chance in this panel. So let's allow him to finish and then you'll get a chance to respond. And you can't limit his freedom of expression. If he says that it is only when he's using derogatory terms that we shall regulate him. But if he's stating his opinion openly, we can't regulate that. So please allow him to speak. Mr. NP, you are still saying apologies for the interruption.
Okay, yeah, my mic was muted. Okay, it's fine. Okay, I'm patronizing you. Sorry for that, but that's the treatment that I've received as an entrepreneur, as someone who's interested in business, as someone who's young, someone who's knocked into doors. I've went as
Because
far
other
as
people have not knocked into doors. Other people have not.
Zintle, no.
I understand. Atisha, allow her to object.
It's only
I've
you.
knocked into doors.
Because it's only you.
My brother, this is a civilized institution here. I want to understand. Yes, Zintle, please, be calm. Well, you're gonna get a chance to speak. NP,
So
let us know when you're done.
that supported the issue of saying South Africans are lazy. How a person from the age of 37 years can come into the industry at the year of 2023 and make a markup of 60.7 billion just in a space of 6 months. 6 months. And total it up to about $209 billion in a space of 3 years, right? Then you all fight about it and you even fail to even produce the budget speech because you don't have the money and the money was lying there. You didn't know whose money is it. You're fighting now. I'm saying you're fighting now. I'm not saying you, but I'm saying the government and other people as well, right? With this development of things. Because now there's investors that have invested in potential people like me and others that I won't mention by name. But the support is not there. We lack developers, they're not there. People are taken to school to do ITs. When you ask them, we do recruitments, they're not availing themselves. None of them. You have to restart again and retrain them. Those that have the skills, they don't know how to do it. I had to go back and relearn how to do it and even open a platform online to say, try hack me, learn how to hack, learn how to do it, so that I can teach the employees that I want to put under my company. Still, when I went to CIPC, because of the idea, because of the budget, I was, by the register company, it ingenzanga next. Bahamba ba-announce bakhuluma ngayo, ingenzanga next. Bangihlambala, like even on Tesla time, self-driving cars, like all those developments, they take the project, the FNB. That's my proposal. It's called integration, ITIT. I'm the one who drafted that thing. Then they stole it from me. They took the budget, the government, City of Johannesburg. I will not say anything, right? That's a person who's a South African. Then I was questioned to say you are Zimbabwean. I was taken, my ID was deregistered. Because of the idea, the money, they wanted that 60.7. Even today, I sent Cyril to the US, Wahlala in a private room. No one broadcasted. I know that conversation. I sent it, I know. Mutwalo Kunmai. And no one will say anything about it. I'm being irritated. Like, ama South Africans, and the only people that
Wait,
support me are
Zintle.
the
Let him
Zimbabweans that chase
finish.
away, the Nigerians. The Congolese are the ones that are supporting me. The Congolese are supporting me in terms of the cryptos. They've changed their assets into cryptos, so we're doing a payment system into that. Zimbabweans are entering as well. They're creating a token for them. I'm doing it under decentralized tokens, for blockchain. No one is supporting me in that. Instead, I'm a hacker, I'm a scammer. And it's South Africans who are doing that. It's not people from outside. I'm being supported from people from outside. They even pay my bills. I owe Amazon, they pay for me because they know what the work we're doing. But South Africans are not doing that. So that's what irritates me and says ukuthi ni lazy, because umuntu makenza into animnqomi, instead nilwa naye, nimphikise, nithathe lento yakhe ayenzile, niyithengise nina. Masicede niyithengise, inhlulu ukuyisebenzisa. You're now using that WhatsApp Meta now. You don't even know who coded that thing. The development of ChatGPT, you don't know who's doing those things. But at the end of the day, you don't give support to the people that develop those things. Now you question about TikTok. It almost got shut down now because now certain influencers were spreading wrong information, of which it's not something that you want. They're harming other people. They're talking about them, but keep my nude videos of them and stuff. It's social media. It has that impact to make someone unalive himself. It has impact. So as developers, we are facing that challenge to say, how can you create something that people can use and enjoy and not misuse it and abuse it? I close there.
Right, thank you very much. Miss Legacy, may I put Zintle before you? She seems to be burning.
It's fine. My daughter's actually left, so you can carry on.
Okay, thank you very much. Zintle, ungakhuluma sisi.
I'll tell you without reasonable doubt. And first of all, I'll tell you this thing for sure. As Africans, we have this thing of spirituality, and I can tell you for sure, Mr. Twala, there's something that he's doing that I even said it without reasonable doubt. There's something that he's doing that is not legit, because you cannot speak like that knowing the disparities and knowing the South African sphere, business sphere, and you want to speak like that as if everybody else is not seeing, or everybody else is blind, or everybody else is lazy. And you will speak like that. I will tell you this for sure. We've seen this, guys. We've seen this. We've seen this for many years. You want to tell me, Guti, you will listen to a guy like that and honestly think that that guy is legit? You will listen to this guy and actually think that this guy is legit? Come on. Come on. I think we are way more smarter than this. I think we are way more smarter than this. Beyond everything else, for the fact that we are children of the spirit. Nje, whether you believe in the spirit realm or not, we will know what it now we are. Nobody needs to tell you. This guy, scammer. And he can come in here and rebuttal me. He's a scammer. I'll tell you that for sure. He's a scammer. Thank you very much. That's all I have to say.
Thank you very much, Zintle. Legacy.
Is there an alarm that's going off? What is that sound? Hey? Can
It
everyone
appears
hear
to
the
be
sound?
coming from you, ma'am.
Is it coming from me?
Yes.
I don't know what's going on. Okay, let me just try and go out and come back in.
Ish, Mr. NP, I don't agree with any of the things you said, my brother. I don't agree. Yeah, ish, I hear your case, but your view of South Africans, it's worrying, man. It's worrying. It's very, very worrying, my brother. Oh, you know, I don't know what they did to you, my guy, but that is very worrying. I understand why Zinhle was burning, man. It can't be easy listening to that. But Mr. Mission, how are you, sir?
Leadership, I'm good. I'm sorry, I just dropped
Feel free
from.
to make your submission, sir. This is your opportunity.
Yeah, I see here based on the topic that there's a much to say. We need to reclaim South Africa, not to xenophobia and not to hate speech. Now for me the question is, who is the organizers of this to reclaim South Africa? Is it foreigners or is it South Africans that are reclaiming South Africa? Because there's a lot of things that happen in South Africa that I don't condone, but that I understand. And we are at a point in South Africa where the resources of the country are depleted. Forget what they're saying to you, on public platforms and stuff like that. Our government is bankrupt, and people are beginning to sense it. They can't put their finger on it, but they're beginning to sense that something is wrong. And basically, what happens is you can see the uncertainty, the unrest that is happening. It's because there's no food. And as soon as the resources become little, then you would find people, start to explode. So if we are saying we are reclaiming it from xenophobia and hate speech, um, I think a better, approach would be to say, what are we doing to address the uncertainty when it comes to employment? What are we doing to address the uncertainty when it comes to inequality in our society? For as long as those are not addressed, this thing about we are not going to be xenophobes or and stuff like that. It's just going to be speech. People practically on the ground, you'll find that people are becoming more and more intolerant of neighbors and stuff like that. Why? Because they are struggling for resources that are becoming scarcer and scarcer on a day-to-day basis. So what are we saying about that? It's easy to to say to people, have manners. When you have eaten, your belly is full, you go home and you've got electricity, your children are in good schools and stuff like that. It's very easy to tell other people to behave. It's only now when you're in that position, when you have to look for a job and you find that it's foreign nationals that are in those restaurant jobs, in those construction jobs, where you start to say, but now what do I need to do to survive? It's a cry for help, to say, okay, as a South African, where must I go now? If I cannot get these resources, in my country, where must I go? And I don't care who you are. At the end of the day, a country is like a house. A country is like a house. And in a house, even if your neighbor's house burns down in the middle of winter, their house burns down in the middle of winter, you're going to help them on your terms. If you say, what I can afford to give to my neighbors is 50 Rand, they might say, what are we going to do with 50 Rand? We need way more than that. But if that's what you can afford, that's what you're going to put on the table. So we are at that point where, yes, it might be bad with our neighbors, but when we look at the resources in our country, there's barely enough. And just because the house next door burnt down, it does not entitle the children of my neighbor to now, when I come back from work, I find that there are children in my bedroom watching TV. They're there, in the bread bin making, sandwiches for themselves, opening up fridges and stuff like that. I just want us to have empathy for South Africans, to say these are down and out South Africans. We have to use public, hospitals. We have to use public schools and stuff like that. So what are we saying about them? If we are going to say, no, behave. But people become, I can tell you now, if I'm hungry, if I haven't eaten for a week, and then they present food here, I'm not going to say ladies first. I'm going to put myself first. And if I'm not put first, then I'm going to use physical force just to try and access resources and all that. So I don't know. Maybe I came, in the middle of the conversation, but I'm saying, if we are saying we are reclaiming it back from xenophobes and hate speech and things like that, I'm saying, have we considered the root causes? Because if we are just addressing the superficial, the makeup, the problem is still staring us in the face. We're just putting, lipstick on a pig. The problem is still there, and it's a bigger problem. We need to go to the root of the problem. Why are South Africans acting this way? It's a call for survival. It's a call for survival. So it's not like they just woke up and said, we have a bad attitude, let's just do this. I'll even say this to you, Auti, and to even Mr. Ancient, Zinhle, whoever is here. I'll even say this: if you're an employee and you are replaced, and you find that the people that have replaced you are foreign nationals, I can tell you'll be on the streets, also chanting,
No, never me. Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself, please.
You can say whatever you want. If you're being replaced, you're going to go on the streets and start fighting. It's survival. People are very tribal, very tribal. And if they feel replaced, then they resort to that. So yeah, that's just me. I'm saying, is it a problem? Yes, it is a problem. But let's go to the root causes. And the root cause is that we have a government that failed us, and all these social ills will be amplified in a situation like that. Someone in the comments is saying, so the root cause is foreigners. Well, you just missed my point, or maybe you've got selective hearing. What I said was, we have a problem of a government that failed South Africans. That's what I'm saying. The problem is that the government failed South Africans, so South Africans feel the need to defend themselves or to look out for themselves. That's the situation.
Am I allowed to speak? Am I allowed to speak to you, Manona?
Believe it or not, you are allowed.
No, I just want to know if I'm allowed, because apparently the word on the street is that I'm disruptive.
No, speak. Let's
Yeah.
engage.
So I don't know. Maybe I want you to correct me also. So you are saying that the reason why you have those problems is because of apparently foreigners. Also remember, Uguti, as the black race and as Africans, we are not foreigners on this land, on this particular land. So I say it with pain in my heart when I ask Uguti, so are you saying Uguti, the foreigners are the problem? I just want to understand. No,
Yeah, but you're saying exactly what I've just answered with Sivenati. Ne? I'm saying we have a problem of a government that failed South Africans. That's the problem. It's not the only problem.
Thank you.
Not the only problem. But yes, foreigners, the numbers that they are in the country are also a problem.
But
They're not
if
angels.
your authorities are not letting them, if your authorities would not let them in, would it be a problem?
Can I come in? And
What do
Then
you mean?
who's the actual problem? If
sorry,
because they are coming into this country and they are your problem,
Okay.
they are your
Okay.
problem, right?
Let me give
And
you
if they're
let me give
your
you an
problem
example.
and they are coming into this country, then who's to blame? Who should we blame, actually?
Okay. Let me ask you this.
Who should we actually blame?
Yes. Let me. Then you'll find my answer in this question. If you are at home, yeah, and you can hear that there's a burglar in the house, you call the police, but they fail to come through. So what are you gonna say? The police are the problem? Yes, I agree with you. The police did not do their job. But does that make the burglar innocent? No, it doesn't make it innocent. The police are the problem. The burglar is also the problem.
yes, correct.
Sorry, I have a rebuttal to that. I honestly have a rebuttal to
Zinhle,
that.
Go for it.
sorry to come in between you guys. Ne? Zinhle,
Yeah.
while you're rebattling, I'm gonna try and give a more, let's say, practical way of asking you. So, Mina, I stay in a township, and the question
Oh,
of
so you want to support him in his rebuttal with me?
I want to give you a point of
Oh,
view.
so you won't allow me to rebuttal him and then you
Okay.
can give your
Okay, let me let you
your
rebuttal him,
rebuttal.
and then I'll come to you. It's fine. Let me let you
Okay,
rebuttal him.
thank you.
Yeah.
So who was I speaking to? Manona.
Yes.
Manona. Let me understand this. Let me understand this correctly. You were saying that if you have intruders in your house and the police do not respond or do not even respond on time, then it is a the problem of it becomes every other African. I don't want to use this foreigner or migrant word, but it's every other migrant's fault. I'm trying to
Yes.
understand. I'm trying to understand honestly. I'm trying to understand your position.
And I gave you an example,
No. Please repeat it. Please repeat it. I would love for you to repeat it.
I'm saying to you, you have an intruder in the house, you call the police. The police don't show up. So what do you have? Who's the problem? According to you, the police is the problem. And I'm saying to you, yes, you're right. The police are a problem. They are not doing their work. But the problem doesn't stop there. The intruder as well is the problem. Trespassing. He shouldn't be there. He's also the problem. Don't try to say, okay, because the police didn't do their job, now I'm stuck with an angel in my house. You're not stuck with an
Who is
angel.
the authority and the one person that you need to hold accountable more than anybody else? Because you can't hold the intruder accountable. You can't hold the intruder accountable.
What do you mean I can't hold the intruder accountable?
You can't hold the intruder accountable because you don't
Why
even
not?
know who the intruder is.
Why not? Why can't I
You
hold
don't
the
even
intruder
know.
accountable?
You don't even know who the intruder
So
is.
do you mean to tell me the intruder comes into your house, you're going to be hunky-dory with the intruder? You say, you know what, I don't blame
Manona,
you.
you're being
You're here.
disingenuous. You are being disingenuous.
No,
I'm
stop with the
saying to
big
you,
words. I'm saying let's be practical.
you are talking about Uguti while you wait for the police, then you need to hold the intruder accountable. I'm saying to you, you don't even know who the intruder is.
I don't need to know
have
who he
a
is. I
personal
don't need to
account
know who he
where
is. He's
I
an
went on
intruder.
a girls' trip. I went on a girls' trip to Cape Town. The police didn't even that actually oh my gosh. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not even gonna go to you. You are trying to say we should hold the wrong people, the
I'm
people
not trying
that
to say
we cannot even hold those people accountable, but we
why
can
not?
hold
Why not?
because they are not, we don't even know who they are. That's what I'm saying. We don't even know who they are.
But we can
But we
identify
know our
them. I don't
police
need to
are
know who
there.
you are. If
Our
you're an
police
intruder in my
are
house, I
there
don't
to
even need to be
protect us.
introduced to you.
So we need to hold them accountable.
And then the
That's what
intruders
I'm
can have their
saying.
way. And the intruders are
Because the
disingenuous.
police let them have their way with us.
Exactly. But now, should we let the intruder have their way with us?
It comes even back. It comes even back to the way that you people, that you men, do
You can't be
not
serious.
even give
You can't be
two
serious.
F's. But
You have an
exactly,
intruder in
I'm
your
that
house.
serious. I'm even that
it says,
serious. I'm
it
that
says,
serious.
it
I'm
says,
that serious.
Zintle,
The way that you don't give two F's about us,
nothing
that
so.
Who's
you
us?
will.
Who is us?
It says,
Zintle, you can't say you people. We don't use that
I'm
language.
saying it, Kemanje.
Who is
it
us?
says, sibatsala phela thina masingaka la. Ngasendi njalo. Masikhuta bokhuteka. Silawula abantu labafuna kulawulwa. Uma ungafuni ukulawula uyahlika. Udathi sesikhuluma thina isiZulu ngathi sesitektola
Usho mina
ngizilwi.
futhi ya.
Angilwi nawo. Angilwi ngiyakhuta ngoba sengiyabona ukuthi ngathi
Ngiyabuza.
awukhuteki.
No,
Ngikhuluma nawe.
ngiyabuza. Angilwi. Ngiyabuza ukuthi
Zintle, don't say you people. That is disrespectful.
No. You know what?
Please be polite.
Ouchie. No, I don't
Yes.
mind. No,
We appreciate the engagement, and there's absolutely nothing wrong. But don't belittle the other people, because the purpose here is so that we can be able to enlighten each other. And
But the thing is, Ouchie, that I will say, is
thank you for the correction, Altisha. Thank you for the correction.
people they never, it's not their problem until it becomes closer to home. I mean, I've attended a couple of Mr. Ancients lives, and stuff like that, and you'd hear some guys making statements, but it's only up until you make that their daughter, then that they start to realize that, okay, when it's now closer to home, it becomes a problem. But if it's far removed from them, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. How is that fair? How is that fair? How is that rational for a South African who we've got unemployment of 40%. And then you want to tell me that, okay, that is not a problem. But there's jobs in South Africa. And when you look at what is happening, the people that need those jobs are the poorest of the poor in South Africa. People who are in the middle class, people who are rich, they don't go to public hospitals. They go to private hospitals. They've got medical aids. So the public space, you'd find it was reserved for the down and out of our community. Now, only to find that they can't even access that. Where should South Africans go? Where should South Africans have priority? We can't expect them to have priority in the UK. You can't expect them to have priority in Australia. They must have priority in their own country. Why is it so evil? Why is that so evil? When we're saying our down and out, our taxes must pay for them to have a safety net. But when you look at the safety net, it's been occupied by foreigners. And then you want to stand there and say, no, these people are not the problem. The problem is the government. I'm the first one to admit that the government is a problem, which is why you find that South Africans are taking the law into their own hands. You don't mind when you're at the robots to give, change to people that are homeless. But as soon as now there's not one person, you now have 20 and they're all looking at you. That's when your attitude changes. There's a psychological critical mass. When it gets to a certain angle where now your demeanor changes about the whole subject. But if it's one, if it's, it's manageable, then no one is going to complain. But as soon as it gets to it gets out of control, where you find that we can't afford now. There's too many mouths to feed. What are you going to do? You start to prioritize. Zinhle can say whatever she wants there. I can tell you now, even in her life, there's priorities. There are certain things that she will do when she's cash flushed. But as soon as the resources are meager, she's not going to think about a holiday. She's going to think about the basics. I need food. I need to make sure that the children have got something to eat and stuff. That's where we are in South Africa now. That's where we are. And then you come and say, no, South Africans are zero. We're going to claim our country from that. From what? The government
Sorry,
is failed.
man.
Yeah, but see on
Man on a mission. Your mission is clear. Like I said earlier on, no to the definition of xenophobia. I apologized for those that have experienced xenophobia at the hands of South Africans when I started speaking Men on a Mission. And I said, one of the biggest issues that drives violence against foreign nationals, whether it was a white person, whether it was an Ethiopian colored or black or I don't know, it doesn't matter where they come from, because it even extends into criminality, where you find Germans landing at KMI, which is Kruger International Airport, and when they land there, they get what you call kidnapped and so on. So I'm saying this whole issue is a criminal thing, and out here Sharp said it. Let's align Ngama values. Chapter 9 institutions, Chapter 6 institutions, and 11 in the Constitution, which is your police force, is your South African human rights. They've outlined morals. We get taught morals at school, at home, and so on. And I think aside of individual issues, this is a group issue. And I said we are only fighting because of look, I even bring it down. This is just my opinion and my observation, Men on a Mission. I brought it down to labor exchange. I said, if you are a foreign national, and I submit as a suggestion so that we can stop fighting, stop accepting less than 28 Rand 80 and see if South Africans are lazy now. Because if you're going to pay them minimum wage for the 10 hours, which is $2.90 a day, I think they will be able to afford everything they want to, and as how they spend their money, whether they go to a tavern, whether they buy Blue Ribbon or they buy lipao, which is the bread that people are eating. But this is an observation of changes in my own community, and I'm going to take it a bit further. Men on a mission. I grew up, the nearest shop, whether it was owned by a black or a Pakistan or whatever, the nearest shop had 3 different breads or 4. It had Sunbake, it had the Blue Ribbon, it had the Sasco, and it had Albany. Today, we only have Sunbake, and we have a Blue Ribbon. And in the replacement of Albany and Sasco, you have lipao, that long bread, and you've got fagumoya, that uncut one. And I'm saying to you, for me, I looked at who is now working and able to take the items being supplied. It is no longer those that were working, which was majority South Africa, but it's more majority foreign nationals, and they are working in what Julius Malema would call slavery jobs, your shoemaking, your salons, your this, your that. And I'm saying there are South Africans taking courses that I have studied these courses of, whether it was bartendering, whether it was waterking, we can name them all. And in as much as they have a business, and I said, I mean, a perfect example of, we only hire Swaziland people and I pay them 10 rand per hour. They work over 12-hour shifts. It's 120 a day. From 9 till 12 is a tavern and they sell food. And I'm saying no South African would agree to that. Even if it was me working there, it's at home. I won't agree to that. But the people are coming into this, and I'm saying, can they realize that is where the disconnect is? I honestly have no problem with a foreign national coming in to do whatever, but so that we don't fight, so that our morals and values are at the same place, I would suggest let us compete on the same, and our labor market must be the same. When I go market myself, it's 28 rand 80 per hour, whether I was a dagger boy or what. That's number one. Number two, I blame people. I blame the government, fine. But the people in South Africa, it is not the president. Let me make a simple example. It's not the president that came and stole tablets that were supposed to track COVID-19. It is not the president that is stealing milk from feeding schemes at school. It's not the president that is doing that. It's individuals working. It is not the president that is doing that. It is not the ANC. It's not a political party. Yes, they are exposed to much more money. But I'm saying the road is, you can change structure, NEC or whatever you want to do. This is the reason why I don't vote. The problem is, at the end of the day, I stay near a mountain. So Mbombela is it's got lush green areas with vegetation, and we are near mountains and so on. Sekasi bafowethu. And mang sekasi sona, nationalities are coming into Ikasi. They're staying on the mountains. Number one, the last house near that mountain is the one supplying them with water and electricity, and every one of those people are paying this person, and this person does not buy electricity. And when the overload is there, everyone doesn't have electricity. We find out that this is the person doing this. A councillor came and asked the simple question, who allows them to stay there? As a government, we said no. But who is making the means possible for this to happen? It is us. I come back and I say, it is us that is supposed to be. I even said one of the biggest issue, lack of participation. Community is not participating. I said, and I categorically stated, with people in my class will not attend this 2024 thing, and I cannot praise if I see 2,000 people marching versus all of a population of more than that. Come on, guys. To be honest, to be very honest, the problem here is within South Africa themselves. South Africans need to change. South Africans at the lowest levels need to stop stealing, whether it was tissue. You must stop stealing that tissue at whatever way you're working. Stop it. It's not the president that is making. They've provided the little means that you are stealing, where other people must be benefiting. You can't be telling me, Mbombela, there, you've got a license center where it was striking that, please, the bribe must not go above a certain amount. It's all over the internet. You can go check it. People who are arrested, they lost their jobs. But what I'm trying to state here is, it is not that, it is us. Can we realign ourselves according to whose moral compass and according to the one that you are brought up with? It's a common thing. Kalikopa. I end. Auti, Kopa,
Thank you.
yeah, Kopa, I'm here.
Thank you very much, guys. Let's welcome our newest people on the panel. Future, Vanessa.
Chap, oi, Ola.
Changing.
Changing came first, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, and then Future.
Welcome, guys. Except Future Piaga. Welcome you.
Go.
All right. Let's hear your view. Let's hear your view, my guy. Mr. Gold, will make space for you, my guy, and then you'll be able to come up.
My mama gave birth to a giant.
So let's engage. And yes, Mr. Gold, please request so you can come up. All right. Let's start with you, Mr. Changing, and then Vanessa, and then Future, and then Vanessa.
Yeah, I'd like to greet all the members of the panel first. You see, guys, the focus is on the wrong thing here. We are focusing all our energy and strength on the wrong thing here. Whilst you are fighting as black people, the enemy is winning. The enemy is in thing. It's governmental power. Because even our presidents, as much as we love to hate them, they are just puppets as well. You remember Cyril Ramaphosa, before he was elected, we were promised that he has his own billions and that he doesn't need anything from us. He won't be corrupt. He has private jets. But look now, he's hiding money under mattresses. Because why? This thing is more than him. It's more than just black control. What we have to do, you see me, if I go to Congo or go to Mozambique or go to Nigeria, I'm still in my country. I'm still at home. I'm not a foreigner there. Those are my lands. Those are my black lands. You understand? But we have been corrupted in a manner of that we have to fight amongst each other so that we neglect who the enemy is. You see, we're going to talk and 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 talk until this Jesus of theirs that is fake comes. Let me tell you one thing. They took our lands with the blood. You understand? We have to take it by blood as well. You see what's happening in Nepal? You see the people are taking the stand. They are fighting, they're destroying everything just to be heard. That is what we are supposed to be doing as black people. We can't be controlled by these minor people here. They have all the land, but they are few. And yet we are fighting for our brothers who come from these countries, Mozambique to South Africa, to try and survive here, because also they have been exploited by the same white person I'm talking about. So what we have to do is to find a plan, find a strategy, because believe it or not, before they colonized all of us Africans, all of Africa is was brutally and in a wrong manner abused by these people. All of South Africa. This is both a legal wound and both a spiritual wound on the black person. So us talking, us doing all these things, it's a waste of time. We're supposed to come together and have courage and say, you know what? We're gonna kill our way through our own control of Africa and its resources that were trusted upon us by the Creator, whoever the Creator is. Because believe it or not, the Africans were entrusted with the authority of controlling the resources and minerals of the lands. That's why we are here. That's why this land belonged to us. So now these people, they come from overseas, from Europe, and they come here and they enforce their own beliefs upon us by force. And they give us these Bibles to come down so that we don't take revenge. And now they take our brothers from their countries, they suppress them, and they take them here to South Africa. And we feel like these brothers are suffocating us. They are finishing our jobs. But you must remember, these people, they have skills. These people can do carpentry. These people can do everything. They can even build cars. People from Nigeria are building cars.
Sorry to interject. So basically, what you're saying is that South Africans don't have the capacity to be carpenters, don't
That's
have the
not what
capacity
we're
to be.
saying.
Let him
That's not
learn,
what
brother.
we're
Let him
saying.
learn.
Allow him to land so that you can understand what he's saying. Allow him to land. Please land. Changing.
Thank you, Sisi Zinhle. So we have to just come with a plan to execute for our land to be taken back to us. Because believe it or not, they planned everything down. They examined us. We were a playbook for these people before they colonized all of us Africans. They studied our religion, studied our education, the way we do things, our medical system. They studied our astrology, everything. And they
Please
exploited
don't take
every
too long,
information.
the other people still have to submit.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is this: let's work together, man. Let's stop, killing each other and forgetting who the enemy is. Let's not forget who the enemy is. We are focusing on the wrong thing. Let's bring back our attention to where it must be. We are one people. If I put a black person here for 10 days, I put a white-skinned person here, I put him here for 10 days, and I take the sun to volume 10, I make it hot, and then we're going to see who's going to die. One must die. And the nature of the sun is going to go and kill the what? The one who doesn't belong there. And we know who it is. Okay, I'm out. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for giving me the time, panel.
Thank you, my guy. Mr. God, you're welcome. Ne? You are going to speak after the lady that's sitting above you on the panel. Ne? For future.
Hola, Fede. Ish. I enjoy, taking all these other discussions and other topics, but this one is very, very personal to me. And one thing that really hurts a lot is every structure, man, universally, it has a certain way that it grows. right? Then in that case, you know, I wanted to say this. In every chaos, there's a structure, and there's logic to that madness. We haven't figured what that madness looks like. And then I think the topic spoke mostly about September 24, March. So if we are saying we are reclaiming South Africa, who is we? And who are we reclaiming it from? Right? So that's the question. If we now get to a point where most of people have said the land has been taken by a gun or anything, it's fine. But at the end of this, who is the owner of the strategy? What is the strategy? Now we go out there, we get the land. Who is owning the strategy? And what moral standing and really, what is it that they're actually paying allegiance to? Do we have a plan that is 400 years in making from now? Or we actually definitely think that we can really argue our way into changing a system that took 2,000 years to implement? So we must actually now already put something to counter that. To reverse 2,000 years worth of damage, it really requires someone who's a pioneer. What is the system that we need to be talking about, right? So one of these things is we need to start there. Every time when there's a pain, we go and we try and sort out the symptom. And we have been doing that so many times that we have failed to address the root cause. So what is the root cause? Is it the government? Is it the people? Why are we finding ourselves here? The things that are written, what is truth to it, right? What is so important about us making sure that people are taught the right things, they understand exactly to be critical thinkers. We don't just consume anything that we find out there and we conclude certain things. I spoke about this thing, Yegoti. You can't complain about the sewer when you are actually inside the Stamkok there. We are inside the Stamkok. We haven't even realized that we are so much into a corrupted system that we cannot use the same methods that are designed by a corrupted system to defeat it. It cannot be. Right? So I'm afraid that like this 24 thing that we are talking about this March, it's going to be hijacked. Some other people think it's supposed to address certain things. But long time ago, when it started with the chiefs who's formed ANC before politicians hijacked this whole thing, they're going to do it again. And this time, what are their interests? What is the interest to whatever that these guys want to do? So there's so much that we need to be talking about. Things about xenophobia and the hate speech and all of those. This is now the cosmetics of us having found ourselves and putting in place a system that is going to defeat this. Now, the change that we are looking for is not 20 years from now. It's not 50 years from now. It's 60 years, but that 60 years is 60 years of consistency, of planning, of defining how we're going to go and do things, going out there, already planning all these other routes. So if you play in chess, you check many moves. So there's a lot of moves that are here. It's not a singular move. When you are doing certain things, you need to already understand what is it that you want to address. So I'm saying at the end of the day, we need to define the problem that we are looking at. Once we have defined the problem, we can go then try and solve it. But at the moment, as much as everybody has been saying, go out there, take your land with a gun. We take the land with the gun, but there's someone in the background who's running the system. Who's that person? And what is it that they want to sit down and work on? Our systems are dependent on human beings, on individuals. That's why we keep on failing every time. So I think at this point, when everybody else wants to rush the street and cause chaos, someone must actually go and say, what is the method to this chaos? And how are we going to recover from that? Or what is it that makes us strong that we can go now and sit on the table and bargain? We must know. Obviously, there's a loophole somewhere, but what is that loophole? So I just wanted to put those other observations, and then we'll take it from there. Thanks. Sure.
Vanessa? Wait, Mr. Goat.
Thank you. First and foremost, what I'd like to say is that the problem is not the problem, but how you view it according to our ideological mindset in line with the system of the constitution regarding the changes of what we as the youth want regarding this march. Is this march going to create jobs after we have marched to those particular places? And mind you, have to put our ideological mindset as Future said that the march might be hijacked. Yes, it might be hijacked, it is even hijacked as we speak. There are various political parties with a different mandate based on the march. First of all, if we're saying we're going to reclaim South Africa, we as the youth are going to reclaim it. We have to ask ourselves, how are we going to reclaim it? Marching peacefully, reclaiming it, or issuing violence? Issuing violence, how is it going to build us, or how is it going to build us as a nation? Because you have to be considerate that our law plays in terms of the constitution mindset on us, but they intend not to idle those particular constitution on them. They intend to replicate it on us. So changing? Mentioned that various people from I don't want to mention the places, I'll just say various countries or various regions have the skills and capacity to work. And he mentioned on the basis of carpentry in terms of woodwork. We do have those particular people. We do have those skills. And we have to put into mind that when a company hires a person from outside or abroad, that person has to have a scarce skill. That person has to have a scarce skill in order to come and work here. So we just have to put our mindset based on the constitution that the acting government in power is the one which is doing all these laws and making sure that everything is replicated. Not to mention corruption, because corruption is there, we're living with it, we're breathing it. But in terms of mentioning that, what is this march going to build? Is this march going to create jobs? After having that march, are we going to see the numbers decreasing? That at least after that march, there were about at least 500 to be precise that got jobs. Or it's just a march saying that we're going to complain about other people from various countries taking our jobs. So we have to be considerate in terms of how we're going to address this issue. As they said, we were, according to the topic, that we're going to reclaim SA. In order for us to reclaim our country, we just have to remove the current government in power, which is the ANC, just to be on a specific level. It is failing us, and it is continuously failing us. We could see by the actions in terms of what they do. We could see by the words they intend to utter words in which people want to hear when it comes to voting. They will tell you what you want to hear. They will use that political science, ideological mindset on various people, in terms like, for instance, I'm replicating to future that if you vote for me, I'm going to give you this and this and this and this, So we have to remove those particular people in power, There has to be internships. Internship must be created, because if you look at those people in terms of the cabinets in those parliamentary spaces, they are above the age limit of retiring, and yet when when a company is looking for particular candidates for a job, they will tell you that 18 to 35. It means if you are above 35, you have expired from the system, you see. But on that very base, they keep on hiring people from abroad. In that particular parliament, there's someone who's 65. And according to the police, when you're 60, you have to retire. But because of corruption and how they intend to incorporate various laws on us, that's what's happening. So if we want to reclaim our country, we have to reclaim it by force. That's my closing statement.
All right, Mr. Society, Mr. Teku.
Hey, the guy is done.
Yeah, no, maybe can I say this, Altine?
Evan, I am talking not knowing that I didn't unmute. Sorry, guys. Busy.
Yeah, OTA shop. Can I just say this? Ne?
Yes, you can.
You can just see on the board that that march is already captured. It's already captured. I mean, no plot to overthrow a democratically elected government. I mean, what is that? Who is to say that? We shouldn't. Who's protecting a democratically elected government, which is captured?
Yeah.
It's captured, so it's protecting its own interest.
Yeah.
You know what needs to happen? And a lot of people, when they talk, they would say people are colonized. But what they don't realize is that this thing has happened in phases. At some point, Africa was colonized and it was liberated from the colonizers. But the problem we have today is that Africans are still stuck with the thing of the colonizers. They don't realize that they need to be liberated from their liberators, which is the next phase. They need to be liberated from their liberators. They are oppressed by the people who liberated them. And they still think, no, they're still being fed the story of the colonizer. Now we need to be liberated from those that liberated us. That's what needs to happen. So for them to say no to overthrow a democratically elected government, the government has failed. So why must we protect it?
So
we're not going to protect this government. We are left to our own devices. This government has failed black people. It has failed black people. So why should we protect it?
So yeah.
Can I please ask a question? Can I please ask a question? I don't know who on this panel is part of Autisha.
No. I'm saying ask your question.
Okay. I don't know who on this panel is part of this Reclaim South Africa, like the critical part of this Reclaim South Africa, because I have questions for that. I don't feel like our questions have been answered. People have been asking about this Reclaim South Africa, but it feels like whoever was answering was meandering, and it doesn't do any justice for me as a South African and as a Black South African. So I need to understand if there are people on this panel that are actually an integral part of this Reclaim South Africa movement who can answer our questions, because I feel like we have not been answered. People have just been meandering. Whoever was answering because out of sentiment, but not because they actually believe in it. Well, they might believe in it, but I don't feel like we've been answered.
Sorry
I
to
honestly,
interject. What was your question?
and I'm speaking for a lot of people right now who feel like they've not been answered. I'm speaking for a lot of people.
What was your question?
Our question was, what is this Reclaiming South Africa about? And people have been meandering with their answers, but we have not gotten any clear answer. And for me personally, when I ask a question, I just want a clear-cut answer. I don't want meanderings and all of that. I just want a clear-cut answer. What is this Reclaiming South Africa about? This March, if we are going to go behind this Reclaiming South Africa march, I need a clear-cut answer. What is it about?
But Zinhle is there on
Yeah.
the blackboard. You're going to say no to Zeno. You're going to say no to flayed speech, and you're going to protect a democratically
No,
elected
no.
government.
That says no. It doesn't say on the topic board. It doesn't say this is the answer to what Reclaim South Africa is about. I am asking now, people that are on the forefront of Reclaiming South Africa, what are you people about? What exactly are you
Can I
saying?
give you a short summary?
Yes, please. I'd love
My,
that. I'd love that, because people have been meandering and I don't do well with meanders. I really don't do well. I have a very short attention span. So, like, when want, it's not even about me wanting answers, but when I ask a question, like, I'd really want the simplest of answers. So, if you could give me the simplest of answers of what it's about, don't meander, please, because I don't do well with that.
But
Thank
guys,
you.
you know that I
Okay,
asked for 1
so
minute and I could see someone just being all over. I don't know.
Oh, that you think I'm being all over, but I'm simply asking, can you just please give us, in the simplest of terms, what it's
No,
about? In the simplest of terms, so that umuntu okwaMashu, nomuntu oseSiyanda, nomuntu ose-Alex can understand what you are talking about. You get?
okay,
I want to understand.
in a brief summary, according to my own ideological understanding, I might be wrong. Those who want to add will add. Those who want to correct me might correct me. I believe that the youth, especially the unemployed youth, are over and beyond the terms of unemployment, and they are depressed, in terms of job creation. So they think that it is high time to reclaim what is theirs. They have qualifications. As you could see on television, we have doctors striking to get employment, young doctors striking to be employed. But as we look at that particular medical field, there are various people from particular countries outside of the country who are employed, but yet We have our own qualified doctors, our own South Africans who are seeking for employment, you know. And as you could see, the unemployment rate, especially for youth, it's above the climate area, the climax area. So in order for the youth to be able, it's like they want to utter the weights, their inner weights, and how they feel, how this affects them, you know. We have young mothers who are unemployed, you know. We have young men who are unemployed, and that's affecting them, you know. In terms of waking up in the morning, not knowing what to do. If you have nothing capable to do, just waking up in the morning just to go and see friends, they come back and eat, that affects you. Some feel like they are intent to being like they're useless. And then that makes them to indulge into various types of activities, you know. Some of them start taking powder. And when you start to look at that particular background of that person, is that person has qualifications, you know, has degrees, has done honors, but there's no job, you know. So I think, according to me, as I said, the youth wants to reclaim what's rightfully theirs, because we have been told from a young age that go to school so that you could be able to get a better job. But once you're at that tertiary level or varsity level, you're unable to get that particular job with that particular degrees. I don't know if I have answered you accordingly.
Can I add, guys? I asked for 1 minute and now I now lost my train of thought so much. So Zintle, in a nutshell, Joe, and from my submission was that this September 24 March thing, it's a farce. We know it's a farce. It's not really going to give us what it actually looks like it wants to achieve. It has nothing to do with that. Now, I actually typed a couple of years there. You probably were thinking, hey, what is he smoking this one now? The issue that I wanted to highlight, guys, is that we actually have a false sense of freedom. There has never been a country in Africa that has been free to this point. And if we can expand on that many times, what was happening is when all the colonizers realized that we, like everybody else, the communities are starting to fight, they realized that they are really on a losing streak. It's going to get to a point where they will be taken out, and it will be violently. So what did they do? They went into our communities. They formed these other smaller parties that are claiming to be revolutionaries, and they send them outside to go and indoctrinate them and negotiate the selling of the property with them. Now, when these people came back here and they started to negotiate in things like your 1992 CODESA issues, prior to that, 1985, or some point where this guy got actually arrested, the idea was understanding that eventually that system is not sustainable. We need to put our own compromised black leaders, compromised, into a system. They are supposed to be there. They have to fail at this. So they have been commissioned to fail. They're not failing because they're incompetent. They have received the payment. They come through. They destroy every little hope of us looking at a black man as a competent person. And they actually destroy flat that they had to get to a point where they have destroyed so much that we start begging for them to come back into that. And we're doing that. Exactly that. So what is then happening? Everything else that is actually being governed by a system that colonizes you, it will never protect you. It doesn't matter who sits on a seat. It's hijacked. It's wrong. It's wrong. If you look at the point where we talk about xenophobia is closest to racism. And racism is what government use to keep themselves safe while everybody else are fighting for scraps somewhere down there. Similar. Others will talk about overthrowing a democratically elected government. How is that? In a country with 60 million and only 10 million people voting, and we are saying it's democratic. How is it democratic? 10 million people. So if you look at 10 million of 60 million, how much is that? It's even worse when you start actually dividing it into parties. It's not democratic. So we are sitting here where we actually are saying our duty, since we understand these things, we see them. Our duty, guys, is to work at the background and design a system. This system will eventually collapse. The dollar currencies, everything else that is monetary, like this capital system, is going to crash eventually. But when it crashes, how are we going to take over? Who is going to be a custodian of that? Now, a strategist or someone who's designing a system, it has to be clear that that person can be president. Why? Because a producer cannot be a player or whoever, an actor into a play. That's where now you're losing the strategy. So eventually, guys, we get to a point where we are telling ourselves, how do we build within our communities? How do we actually empower the right people and leave these things where people are populist? There's populism. Anyone, I can put my head on a block, guys. We've got 400 parliamentarians. All of them are corrupt, all of them. And none of them actually has a moral standing because they're part of the system. You can maintain that anytime. So I was then saying, we have to be careful about this. So sometimes maybe it might be the same people that are in a GNU who are actually now realizing that they have been exposed so much. And the public is now starting to side with other people that are saying no to this. So they will bring all of these things, make it trend, and give us a false hope that something is happening because they need to keep this government of theirs in control. They're going to come up with some way to disturb the train of thought. That's why they're paying for drugs, because drugs and alcohol is keeping our youth consumed, confused, not in their right space, de-elevated. That's how they're doing it. So this it's a well-oiled machine. It's benefiting the corrupt and the elite, and we need to shun it as much as we can. So there's opportunities for all of us to plan. Guys, if you go and say, this is how we're going to go and address certain issues, the first question becomes, what is the strategy? And let me tell you, the strategy cannot be discussed in these platforms. That's not the place. If you're going to be attacking someone, you don't go and phone them and say, by tomorrow morning, I'm bringing 5 people, I'm going to show you. That person is ready for you. They are sitting at the background. They are addressing how they are actually keeping us in a slavery system. And they never come and tell us about it. I can guarantee you today, the guys that are in government that seems to be confused, incompetent, they are not doing that. They are just doing exactly what they've been commissioned for. Here's your money. Destroy this thing so much that when this is happening, your people come back to us crying and willy-nilly give you a government and say, hey, we want you white people. This incompetency was there before apartheid. Only now that our guys that are there, they were given 30 years, 40 years to give back the system to them. They said, break it down. You want people to be willing slaves. Go there, confuse them, starve them, and drag them in the process. Kill their morality, their spirituality, so they cannot reason whatsoever. Then you actually go back to this. And then they are willingly going back to this same system that abuses them. And will come back and say, guys, neoliberalism, this is how we are doing. you actually need us for this. We don't need these people. They can't think. They're just barbaric. So at the end of the day is we need to sit down. We need to create time, guys, and say, who are we? What is the identity? What is ours? What type of a system are we in? How do we need to address it? We cannot keep on having people who are ignorant in our system, where we have to downplay the seriousness of what needs to be happening. People to be empowered through knowledge. The moment you know something, we then have the opportunity to sit down as a nation and talk. We are not ready. We're not ready. How is it that every time I can go and try and reason with someone who's sitting in these compromised places, who always, all they know about is, yeah, we have been set free. We have been set free by a particular party. That party was killing they were killing the same people as us. Sorry, using for that word. They were doing that to all of us. They were selling us out, and they still sell us out today. All they are here to do is to destroy. So we must learn, guys. We have never been free. We are still to be free. And we need to be straightforward about it. One of the main reasons why the movements that is in government today started losing power, strength, and breaking into many factions was because they knew already that there was some way that they were infiltrated. The enemy was already in these parties, far back in the 1940s, when they actually had Freedom Charter and changed all of that. And there was a first breakaway. If you go and look at the 1960, the past laws, the 1976, Buipatong, the Soweto uprising, 1987, all of this other, everywhere else where these things are happening, is because they control the media, they can lie about things. There's never been any much that the current government has actually mastered. They have never led any much. They always hijack. This one on the 24th, they want to hijack it as well. I promise you. It's useless to us. It's being led by a bunch of wolves that actually are trying to govern ships. Eventually, they will actually consume the ships they are trying to govern. It's very important. So we got a plan. We need to think. That's all I wanted to say.
Men on a mission and changing views, do you want to submit
Yeah,
before I
I
come in?
just I just wanted to reiterate that this government, I think these are the last kicks of a dying horse. So they're just looking for ways to try and retain some semblance of relevance in the society. The ground is moved. The South Africans, we're okay. We're okay. We can't wait for next year to correct the mistakes that we've made. Some of us have been slower than others, but the temperature has changed now. People are ready to correct the wrongs that they have done. It's an irrelevant government. I mean, how can you say we are reclaiming South Africa, and then the things that you're putting on the table is things like xeno and hate speech and protecting the current government? They know this is their own invention, and they're trying to protect it. And we are not buying it as South Africans. If you're not going to address the issue of unemployment as a government, if you're not going to address the issue of the cost of living in South Africa, if you're not going to address things like crime, and the inequality, being the capital of inequality in the world, and you're gonna tell us about things like protect your government, democratically protected government. These people have the nerve, but they know their time has come. Their time has come for them to go. We have been liberated from them. as well. Closer to the elections, then they're gonna start playing Sarafina and Cry Freedom and stuff like that, pull on our hearts strings to try and garner support. That time is over. That train and that ship has sailed. It's not gonna work anymore. We are not about that life, you know. We are taking our destiny into our own hands because we also realize we're standing on the shoulders of previous generations, the 1976, the Sharpeville marches and stuff like that. We are also having to carve the future for our children. And you know, just because Moses took you out of Egypt, it does not mean Moses is gonna take you to the promised land. So they took us out of Egypt, but they're not equipped. They're not equipped to take us to where we need to go. So they've reached their sell-by date. We don't need them anymore. And what we're seeing in the country now, I can tell you now, it's not gonna stop. It's just gonna become more and more unrest, more and more people becoming irritated with the state of affairs in South Africa. So yeah, it's no, man, we are done. We are done. So this much about the 24th, I don't see any substance there for us to be able to, you know, it's captured. It's hijacked by the ANC already. So no, but the revolution, you know what, there was something that Nelson Mandela said. He said, there's nothing as powerful as an idea whose time has come. And the idea whose time has come now is these people have failed and they need to be replaced. That's it.
Man on a mission. You know, the guy that was just here now, Future OG, said something, and something I said earlier on. He spoke that out of the eligible voters that could be voting, nearly 50% of eligible voters are not voting. I would assume with the local government elections, that is going to increase to above 50%. Then we ought to look at what he said. He said we need to prepare for the next governing tool. It could be traditional leadership, it could be a coup, it could be apartheid, it could be whatever the case may be. So that then raises a question. You know, for me, it's funny how we've got, number one, journalists that are saying the current general elections are a reflection of the people. The reflection of the people have not been voting. That is me. And one would say to me, not voting is part of the problem. And I said, but, I always say, it is no longer a right to vote. It doesn't feel like that because it does not align with the morals of a statesman like Nelson Mandela, that who said we're going to build this nation. It does not align. You cannot keep on repeating. There has not been a change in the past 2020, in the past maybe 12, 13 years, if not more, since Jacob Zuma has been there, in the people that have been in parliament. It's the same Melusi Kigaba, he's there, he's inside there. It's the same Julius Malema who left this part of the organ of state to this one. It's the same Gwedemantash, it's the same Peggy Cele that still sits on the executive. It's the same people that have been there for the past, I don't know how many years. So for me, and for the rest of South Africans that are not voting, it has nothing to do with the inability to go vote in the town that you registered in according to the IEC because you are at work, wherever. No. People used to have this sense of pride. I voted. It's no longer there. And for me, that is a sign of, as much as the government has failed, it is no longer in the hands of the government to dictate what is going to happen to this country. It is us that is going to dictate, not in a way of a march, and we've understood that these things don't work. I feel like Twitter is more, is it? But maybe, let me say maybe, I stand corrected. Twitter has become a way of receiving justice, because here we've had influencers blocked, we've got ministers chased, we've got Kana Ken Kunene was, we have a different way of doing things. Not that I particularly agree with, but we are doing them. And I'm saying, ngihlale kasi dog, kasi, there are tenders of this and that and that and this and that, and there are things of service delivered that are supposed to happen, but people have taken upon themselves to fix certain things. Hence Operation Tutula. Not that I fully agree with it. I love the outcome of less stress on public resources and the people that work there. But I don't necessarily agree with how things are being done. The outcome seems to be beneficial to the people that are putting in the work there, the nurses that are working there, the amount of this and that, and being a person that actually, has gone through a car accident, having realized 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, how it operates and so on and stuff like that. But let me not add too much so that I don't take away from anyone's train of thought of speaking.
Can I speak?
You can speak, sis.
Yes. Let's see. It. Okay. Let me compose myself. It shows just how less you know about the health systems and the health department nationally and even provincially. Because if you had any understanding, you would understand this. First of all, there's not less stress. That's first of all. Second of all, they still have these issues that we have right now in the health department were issues that we had in 2011. We still have them. It's got nothing to do with the volumes. It's got everything to do with the processes and procedures. And people not following processes and procedures, people not even doing their jobs. Because if people were actually doing their jobs, you would not have to actually speak of the health department and the stresses, the supposed stresses that the stresses are there. The stresses are there. Let me tell you, as a health professional.
Sorry, sis. This is not me trying to interrupt you.
Okay.
But I would love to engage with you on point to point.
Yeah,
I'm
you stress one point.
I stress a point, we move on.
Okay. I'm giving you a point right now.
Yeah,
I'm giving you a point right now.
Hence, I would like to say, as much as you are saying I know less, right? It's okay, I know less. And you are stating, Uguti, these things have been there.
Yes.
And to just state that, I said when I spoke here, I said it is I will never blame government. So long people, I even made an example, you were here, and I said people stole devices of the government. The very same officials that you are addressing, and you are correct, you're not incorrect when people are failing to follow procedure. The very same people, there is no nurse, and I repeat, my nurse ahlale kasi kunamapilisi lapha kusesibhedlela lapha kubo. If I need bandage, I get it from them. If I need, so yes, correct, it's not less of resources, not less of stress. You are spot on. But I said to you, one of the outcomes, I do not particularly agree. So when you now then come back and you say it shows how less of, you are now being personal. And when I come back to you saying kuza uting bias, but anyway,
No, but I'm
you
stating
can
facts though,
point out
Chomi.
your next point.
I'm
Point out your
stating
next point.
facts,
It's
Chomi.
fine.
I'm
You're
stating
stating
facts,
facts.
Chomi. I'm stating facts though.
You are
I'm
still
stating
stating.
facts.
You are
I'm stating
stating
facts
that.
though. From
You are
personal
stating that.
experience, I'm stating facts.
Yeah, but of me knowing less, and that's your
Yeah.
personal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Continue.
Very.
Continue.
Should I continue? Anyways, moving right along. So I was saying, as I was saying, it shows how much very less that you know of what the actual pertinent issues are. The pertinent issues have nothing to do. Oh, they might have some inkling to do with the overload, ne? But the overload also has to do with governments. What do they call it? Oh my gosh, isingisi siyangibaleka. Ama-data bundles ayabaleka. But it's got a lot less to do with that than it has to do with the processes and procedures. The red tape. I remember at some point I was heading a health institution. I did not have the most basic for 3 years. For 3 years. Not because there was no funds, but because the people that were involved in procurement would keep it there on their desk, and then 1 year later you have to apply again, and then 1 year later it's one of those. So when people say, it's very disingenuous for me when people say the issues of healthcare have a lot to do with the overflux of supposed foreigners. Very disingenuous. You need to come to us that are on the ground, to find out what exactly are the issues. Because you will sit there and you will open your mouth, talk, and say it is about whatever and this, whatever, without consulting us. We that are on the ground, we know what the issues are. So please, don't even do that. That's why I even get on these lives and I even be anti anything xenophobia, because me that was on the ground, I know it had nothing to do with even the influx of foreigners, supposed foreigners. Had nothing to do with it. So Jay, it's very disingenuous for you to sit on this platform to say what you are saying when you do not even have the inkling of what's happening.
Is that your point
Very
number 2?
disingenuous. It is very disingenuous. And I'll say it with my chest, Chomi. I'll say
That's your
it with
point
my
number 2.
chest.
Your
I'll
point number
say
2
it
is
with my
that.
chest.
All right. It says Ison. Here's where I with my little knowledge come in, having gone through a car accident, having gone through, the public healthcare system, having received it the way I did. I didn't know there are people like you on the ground. That disingenuous means there's no intelligence behind what I'm saying. There's no merit around what I'm saying. Men on a mission. So, and that is what she's submitting as point number 2. And I speak from a point of receiving what, is an observation, and having observed the processes of how things happen and what are the end of result of this thing, and being a person that asks question. Oguti, matron, you guys do not sit down. You guys run marathons after marathons. You guys are pushing the following men on a mission. You mustn't worry about certain things. We accept them because we understand, you know. Having gone through and received having gone on to receive a level of treatment that I ended up, I grew up saying, yeah, this. And after having to see how much healthcare workers go on to go through, they're short-staffed. And you speak of a genius idea of red tapes. And I'd urge you to name and shame them and say, but this is the person that I wrote to, and this is what I did, and this is how things did not get there. I have a problem very low, my guy. It is so, I've got no person at home that works under the healthcare system, but what I saw, the extended hours, the love these people have versus how it's depleting. And then I never said it's because of a foreign national. I said one of the outcomes, I'd question the underpayment, but one of the outcomes of it is less stress, because you cannot have, guys. But anyway, I'm saying to Uzinhle, in the point where I am disingenuous and less of a mind of thinking from an experience of, I appreciate Rob Ferreira today. Because Rob Ferreira, the one here in Nelspruit, was said to be unclean, but what I received, yes, cockroaches are there, yes, but how far this hospital has come to change. Matrons are writing, and I'm saying to you, you have been leading a part of this. You've been heading healthcare, and I'm saying to you, name and shame, so we can deal directly with those people. Fortunately, I went to thank them. I showed them token of appreciation for what they did, because they ran a marathon. I was the last one. I was taken in for 6 hours for my surgery, my second one. And I'm saying to you, with what was going on, I sat there and I asked questions. I came back and I went and I wrote to Parliament saying, thank you for the current state of Rob Ferreira. You might think, yeah, good to me. I engage with the very same system that you guys are not using. And I spoke today, and I said today, and I challenge that I'm saying there is lack of participation. Participation begins by you actively going for a budget, sitting through a council, writing against a paper, whether it's white or yellow, before it becomes a law. Yet I am the one who's disingenuous, because I'm sitting here and I'm speaking on a panel of things I don't know of.
Yo, Purisi. Emotional kakhulu ndoda.
Exactly.
It's not that deep. Uthuli niyithatha ngendlela ukuthi yabo ufaka my feelings kakhulu, just because you had yabo experience yakho, and I guess into ongadluli kuyona ngisho ukuthi wahili in a way, but like it happens mfethu yonke indawo. Mina ngiseThekwini and ibhedlela zalana, yeah, I know my unesi, so like I've heard so many stories ezenzeke ebhedlela, especially because manje currently use Bara, and Bara, it's one of the biggest hospitals in Africa, yabo. So yeah, imagine umuntu ona, she's like 57, have to atetise ulentuzana uyi-maintenance and utetisa like mengitshena ukuthi i-hour ne-hour like imagine up to mhlampe abantu abawu-10 sometimes more than 10 and meyibala at yabo ama-foreigners like mesho yena but angazi so
Daniel,
yeah
yazi Daniel mfowethu ne. La
yeah
kwenzeka so. Umuntu uyafika ku-panel and I always stress ukuthi I'm not here to add to the wars. I'm the only person
okay
probably here that apologized to anyone that has received xenophobia through the hands of South Africans. I'm not being personal. You know what happened?
mm-hmm.
What happens
yeah
is that we must tiptoe around certain people or whatever and then their mindset because the moment is kuluma so you need therapy. The moment you kuluma so you speak from a point of privilege. Look, I've heard those things so many times because I come here and I'm trying to say I'm looking for a solution. A
yeah
solution that does not seek to say and I said and I'm agreeing with Tuzin to her, the first point I agreed to her and I said you are correct the red tapes and I outlined them. I said yazini bafowethu you can't say uDaniel umama wakho makatetisa abantu so asuke yena athatha izinto zokutetisa abantu azifake endlini ekeni. We've got too many people in that work for states of government. I even made an example. I said, abotishera batata ukudla ama-tin fish, amabisi, ama-six pack that was supposed to be given to abantwana besikolo.
Genze, yeah, it happens.
And I'm
Yeah.
saying, why must I now continue blaming a government where that the people that are down there using whatever is little that is left for themselves? I even said to you, I'm
Imali,
not being
Imali.
is what
Okay.
Daniel.
Khona
Nsima no mama akho. Nsima no mama.
Okay, yeah.
Because I know, I saw firsthand what happens I never knew. And I'm not making it a personal thing ukuthi ngathi angahili. It is okay.
Imali, ngicela imabafu ngicela ukubuyela kule. Can I just go back to the point there oyisho ukuthi we have abantu like umuntu athathe into esikoleni yabo just because ufuna ukubuyela naye endlini.
Gephi na gephi, whether it was healthcare.
Yeah, it happens everywhere, man. Why do you think it happens?
I'd like to interject because you guys are segueing right now. You guys are segueing. And
It happens, really.
No, I get it. But I'm saying way past
Not
the
frequently, you
point
go
that I
die.
was making.
Get cases like that.
Way past that I was way past the point that I was making. I was saying to you, Putsia, I was managing a center, a health.
Name the center, sis. Yazi mina ngifuna ukuthi slow Name the center. Name where you did so we can research and go find those things.
Okay,
I was
give her a chance.
managing a center. One of the challenges, it's not even a challenge, it's a disparity that I came across was that I could not offer certain services for 3 years because procurement is lapha. They don't understand. I deal with disability more often. Disability, bone injuries and all of that. Somebody that doesn't understand how crucial it is to have that within the first week will sit there with procurement, with a document, procurement for 3 years. Every year they have to redo it. Every year they have to redo it. It was not because me on the ground, not even me. My subordinates on the ground were doing all that they can. They would drive 300 kilometers that they are not getting paid for. That's time that they're not getting paid for. There's petrol that they are not even getting paid for. With their money, I would spend Monday to Sunday
So
that I don't even get paid for. I only get paid for Monday to Friday, not Monday to Sunday. It's sitting there in somebody's office. The solution is sitting there in somebody's
wait,
office because somebody
Wezinhle.
doesn't even care. Wait, Daniel.
Yeah.
Because somebody
Okay.
doesn't even care. Because somebody doesn't even care because it's got nothing to do with them. Because they don't have people with disabilities in their house. They don't have somebody that's newly disabled in their house. So they don't even care. So when you are saying, foreigners are even adding on, do you know how many foreigners I got to meet within that period, within the 10 years period that I was working for government? If I had to equate it in percentages, it's not even 10%. But because your people were not doing the job that they are signed to do, that they are meant to do, that they are supposed to do. So you can't tell me Uguti has got anything to do with influx, Yama foreigners in no. If I even had 50% of
Oh,
foreigners
okay.
and I had the
Yeah.
budget, I would still do the same that I would do for South Africans. Because for me,
Yeah.
as a health professional, my job is for the people. So
Exactly.
I'm telling you,
Angani
your
angani you
disparities,
took her old.
wait, Ima, don't talk over me. Don't talk over me. I'm telling your disparities are within your lawmakers, the people that do the buying and everything. It's got nothing to do with foreigners. It's got absolutely nothing to do with foreigners. I'll tell you that for free. I usually
Okay,
charge
siyakuzwa,
for my
siyakuzwa,
expertise, but I'm telling you
siyakuzwa,
this for free.
Okay. Now I get
sikuzwile.
yeah,
Akusiwo
sengiyayizwa
ama-foreigner la.
manje.
Bothini Daniel?
I think sengiyizwa kangcono manje because ngingene late like I was
Yazi
late on
Daniel.
the live. But then
Yeah.
to cut what I'm saying short, uzinhle kahle kahle what she's battling with is ilentuzane. The same thing I think my mom also had a problem with ilento le yama agents. Not saying ukuthi she's also experiencing the same difficulties kodwa sengiyasho ukuthi there's a thing la kanesinye ukuthi you get employed through ama agents and then so when you're not employed directly by the department or you're employed by ilentuzane.
Daniel.
No, I'm
No,
just saying
kakhuluma into
uzinhle.
enjalo.
No, that's
Wait.
not it.
Wait.
Asiqhubeke, khuluma nje.
Yeah. So kuba leyo nto wena but siyo ukuthi for example uma yabo uma works very long hours sometimes even ashintshe ibhedlela yabo so because the-agents what you call ama-agent abanqeni ukuthi they call you for ilentuzane 4 days to go ebara and then they call you for like 2 days uhambe eRaima Musa and then you have another Lilian Goy. So yabo
I was particularly stationed at Pietermaritzburg, Daniel, and I was employed under the state, so it wasn't under any agent. So
no,
for
I mean
me,
ngisho
it was literally from my heart.
Qhubeka mfo.
Yeah, so what happens when ukuthi you get where all these agency, no, it's only one, right? But uyabo ukuthi ukufaka in a different like ibhedlela ehlukene. Comes payday, she has to wait like maybe angazi for there's one time she waited like for 3 weeks without pay because manje whoever has to send angazi ishit lelo sengikhohlwa ukuthi what they call it and then where they write down ukuthi umuntu has worked how many hours, like how many days into kanjalo, and then somehow that sheet or that page it doesn't get submitted on time, yabo, and then it delays payments, and then imagine have to deal with 3 different hospitals, whereby each and every hospital is stating the same thing. Would see, no, somebody sent the sheets and Azi, but we're still waiting for payments, and then you get people who are employed by the department, bona the money or the salaries is always on time, and bona bana nkinga. So it's I don't think lento le what you guys are talking about is you'll have any control over. Yabo. So it's the higher people, higher ranks, I think, ibona aba who are actually influential in terms of imali. That's why corruption is high kangaka, because everybody's just in it for themselves, yabo. So you can't blame Mama Nessie and blame Bani for what's actually happening. So you
Lalela
just kind of
mfowethu angiblame muntu. Uyangizwa?
yeah,
Ngithi mina
sure.
kunama factors nsizwa. Kunezinto
Yeah,
ezi-edda kule problem.
sure.
Mine mbono wami point of view ngibheke naku nanaku ngakusubmithela kona. Ngaphinde ngakunika indlela ukulungisa. Uyangizwisisa?
Yeah,
Zolo
ngiyakuzwa.
zolo lokhu namanje futhi siphume kuzona. Manje ukhuluma ngemoral is very low amongst workers. And I'm saying
Yeah,
to you, if I receive the good, I respond all the way to parliament. If someone, mina ngine paper trail, Daniel, yezinto eng actively kuzo, engidila nazo ukuthi mangibona into eso ngiyayenza so, mangibona into emele ngiyiphikise ngiyayiphikisa. Ngiyakuzwa Daniel, mawuthi wena nozinhle ukuthi lapha ku middle management kune supervisor ehleli nezinto emele ziyenzeke. Ayizenzi.
yeah,
Right? Ayithumeli i-timesheet ngesikhathi, ayithumeli, I-accept ima-proposal ngesikhathi.
yeah,
Kungimi umuntu ochwalile namhla. Ayingebuya ngithi mina kuwe. Kulesa sibhedlela nenkinga ezikhona lapha. Iyafunction. Ngizibuze futhi ukuthi njengoba bathi angihlakaniphanga ukubona ukuthi la into eso yenzeka. Ngikubekela umzekelo nsizwa. Ngithi mina kunabantu abantshontshayo emsebenzini. Ene yila ngifisa mina ukulungisa khona. Angizange ngathi mina. Kusho wena ukuthi umama wakho uyasho ukuthi maningi abantu bokuqhamuka abadetayo lapha. Uthi uMan and Mission. Man and Mission said when the resources are scarce within even your own house, what you do, you prioritize. We do what we call prioritization. And I'm not saying, and I repeat, I do not agree with how things are going. However,
yeah,
ngiyalwa nithi mina kunama points amahle achamukile nayo.
yeah.
Yangizwa Daniel. Ngize
Ngiyakuzwa.
ngathi mina one of those issues was abantu balapho ungangena kusibhedlela esinye esingekho eJozi emakhaya ubuze indaba le bazothi siyayifisa lento le esiyibona lapha sikwazi ukuphumula since sema labantu abadli Daniel mama kukhona ngathi ngabahleli abadli dog abana ma break ene ngithi mina kuwe ngakanani lo muntu ohleli nalama case lapha ku middle management. Remember, before bakusebenza there is law in it. Ukuthi angeke simjube, we're going to administer this, someone must sign all of those things. And if you've got management that has an overflow in one half of their work, it will affect the rest. We must find a balance. I'm not saying chase away people. I'm not saying hire more people. But the man on a mission said something, and he said, prioritization will come into effect. What do we prioritize? if kumamakho umbuzo ukuthi mama bongaprioritize ini esibhedlela, ngiyacabanga nokudla ngeke akufake lapho phakathi.
Medicine,
Maybe
right?
sengikwenzele example. Ngikhuluma so kuyabheda ukudla.
No, ukuthi kunomcabango ovela wafika yabo ukuthi wena ngokubona kwakho, do you think ngawubuza kanjani lo mbuzo, but like in terms of employment, right? Iyiphi i-sector ocabanga ukuthi wena kumele i-prioritize, that should be more prioritized than other sectors, especially isikhathini samanje where you get so many accidents on the road.
Of
You have
course.
yabo abantu who don't have people who are unemployed, so meaning they can't afford to go to private hospitals and all that stuff. So everybody ukulayini wakulentuzana kwama-public hospitals. So ngibuza wena ukuthi in terms of employment, do you think we have enough workers ey'bhedlela?
To be honest with you, angifuni mina ukukhuluma ngento engayazi, ngikhuluma based on observation. And nge-observation yami angeke ngithi kule sector le sikhuluma nge-healthcare, under healthcare, I don't know to say they must
Nami
hire more
ngikhuluma
so that they,
yeah, we both talking about the same thing. Nami ngikhuluma ngama-observations ami engike ngiwabona.
yeah.
Have you been to a private? Have you been to a private hospital first, or a private
have.
doctor?
I have.
Ugcineni kushaya umoya, bro. You can
Kushaya
even
umoya.
uhlala la ubeke isikhwama sakho la
Eceleni kwakho.
ubeke
Correct.
something else kulesa situlo. You can even take a nap uhleli kulayini in terms
Yeah.
of the way children ngakhona kwama-privates and or private
Ndiyavumelana
doctors.
mina nawe.
But
Correct.
it's the same sector, yabo.
Yes.
Whereby if angabe uhafu wabanye abantu beza ngala, cause
Yes.
I'm sure so bakhona abantu who can afford to go and yabo take advantage of those services laba provided by private hospitals or private doctors. But those people don't go there because
Ake ngibuze.
baya to the same to the same public hospitals. People who actually can afford kodwa nabo baya there. So yabo ukuthi
Nsizwa,
yeah,
ngiyakuzwa wena
sure.
ukuthi uthini ne. Manje ke njengoba uyibeka ngale ndlela uyibeka ngayo. Uthi sishayelwa umoya ku private. We can sit on a bench and leave a bag here there in a private hospital and it's relaxing. And I'm saying to you, what has been another outcome of Itudula being saying, and I'm not advocating, this is the first time I'm using the word Itudula, by the way, right?
Yeah.
And I'm saying, now what I've seen them do is request them to go to private hospitals. Right, then we're going to talk, can they afford and right? But asikho lawo. Sisekutheni what you just submitted with, can't others go to this one? So what now needs to happen then as a suggestion would be, we now need a threshold, a new threshold for people that can be accommodated where to private hospital. Unfortunately, capital is fighting against that.
Okay, Baf. And another issue as I mean I understand Lemzans ukuthi lenta the shows ukuthi I feel like people like with disadvantages, but in disabled people, yes man. Abantu with disabilities, yabo. I don't feel like
Wait, sorry, sorry kukuphazamisa. Mr. Ancient is going to close it off because ngalesikhathi isikhathi sokuchaya, so uzovela ivale angakasivalelisanga. So we'd like Mr. Ancient to thank us for being here today, although we've got small likes.
See a mouse. See a
Mr.
mouse.
Ancient.
Thank us. See a mouse.
Mr. Ancient.
Huh?
Yes, sir. Good to see
Hey,
you.
that's it.
How are you? How are you?
I'm all right, man. I've been enjoying the conversation.
Yeah. You can say your goodbyes. I'm sorry that I had to stop everyone. So that we know it's time.
Oh, no, yeah. No, thank you, guys. Thank you so much for engaging and for sharing. It was necessary that we have this conversation. Yeah, it's just part of our civil duty, right, as individuals. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for bringing your views on this. We'll meet again tomorrow, most likely on a different subject anyway. You know how we do it
Please.
with live. But we'll meet again tomorrow, 8 p.m. Thank you, guys. Please do have a good night.
Can,
Already
See your
past.
can we
mom.
talk
Guys,
about Kaiser
See
Chiefs?
your
good night,
mom.
guys.
See your
Guys.
mom. Yeah, thank you. Waiting.
Yeah. I wish you could see my mouth right now. Unfortunately, you can't. Bye bye. Unfortunately.